are the Village Green Preservation Society. God save Donald Duck, vaudeville and variety. We are the Desperate Dan Appreciation Affiliate. Is that what it is? I don't know. God save Donald Duck. First, yeah, you are. Foradus. Daus. Yo, hello Qatar. Good to hear from you. Hello everyone. Hello. We are live and alive. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we're live and alive. I can actually resize these. Thanks for 40,000. I guess I should talk about that more when there are people in here. But yeah, nice stuff. And thanks for all the people who watched yesterday, just watching me play fucking Dark Souls 3. That was exciting. And I hope you guys are enjoying the VODs. I know most of you, we'll talk about that as well in a bit, but yeah. I'm going to start pumping out less like Ethan VODs. I just want to get them out because they're clearly driving the channel back up. I got the Warhammer number. I hate Mondays. There's another cat who hates Mondays, Lemon Mint Cat. Famously, he hates Mondays. You're in Alaska. Wow, crazy. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy, Urbo. Crazy hitting these numbers on YouTube. Especially when I've been, like, in the times I've made YouTube videos. I was in Canada for 5 weeks. And obviously I've been streaming across multiple platforms. It is crazy. Hi, Mediocre. These aren't really that early, I guess, but not for me at least. At a certain point, maybe I'll start even streaming earlier. Depends. Yeah. One day a week it'll have to be shortened stream or no stream because of Isaac, but it remains to be seen. He's calling in later today, and I think we got a new way to do it, which I'm excited for. I guess we'll start with the... No, you know what? It's been 2 minutes, so I'll just do some more chat interaction. Actually, no, we'll do the spelling bee because it's shit. And I'm not going to look up the good answers today. Happy 40k, bro. Thank you. It's 9 a.m. for me. Boring. Bowing. Bowen. Rowan. Baron is a good word. Wow, that is excellent. That is crazy. That's the panagram. Have you tried Scrandle? Yeah, I have. That was amazing. Mediocre. Did I have a fun time visiting Canada? I love Canada. It's where my girlfriend lives. So yeah, I like it there. Wow. But. Warrior. Oh wait, that's a good one as well. Morrow I want, but there's something with Oro, isn't there? Warrow, Eoro, Norro, Borrow. No, Borrow has 1 W or 2? Oh, 2 R's. Wait, why am I struggling with this? Oh, it is 2 R's. God, that was stupid. I was second guessing myself because I didn't want to look stupid. And I was like, no, there's no way it has 2 R's. Right, we'll do the Wordle as well. No telling me what it is in chat. Right, we'll start with a letter beginning with Q. No, we won't because I can't think of... Oh yeah, we'll do that. quiet. No, I can't even guess anything with that. We'll do that. Flunk. Oh, fuck. Quote. No, it can't be quote. This is live right now. Yeah, I'm live right now. I don't think it's fuck, but nice try. No, it's not going to be spunk. I knew it wouldn't be that. DXU something XX. Oh, is it? Duff. There we go. Easy. Easy. Don't know what that... Duff? Up the duff? I don't know what it means. Oh my god, it means dough. It's dough. Oh my god, I hate when you see a word written and then you're like, I cannot work out what that is. Duff. Fucking dough. I was like, is that a word? Of course it's a fucking word. Okay, you can see this. So, we have blender. Duff. Duff beer. Yeah. Dough like how Homer says it, yeah. Metal detector, X-ray, infrared. Wait, is it? Do all of these things rely on? No. Carry on. Right. Because part of me thinks, is it like microwave, blender, toaster, and then rice cooker for like kitchen appliances? Yeah, small kitchen appliances. Rice cooker doesn't feel like that common one. Like a Persian rice cooker. But are these ultraviolet, X-ray, infrared? Did I try these? And then marigold. So you think it's what? X-ray, infrared. No, that we've already gone through that. Infrared, X-ray. There's no radio though. Oh no, wait, no. Infrared, X-ray, microwave. Microwave's already done, so we've already checked that. Infrared. Is it these? No. Radio waves. Yeah, but those are types of waves. What are you talking about? Microwave is already on there, and it wouldn't be microwave waves. Stingray, things that killed Steve Irwin. So it would just be Stingray, so probably not that. Carry on. Shifter. Shift. Hey, Diego Hugh. Thanks for becoming a member. Well, you're already a member? I don't know. But thank you. Yeah. W Diego. Yeah, you got the blue Labubu. Labubu. Shifter, air conditioner, metal detector. Metal detector, carry on, X-ray. And then I'm wondering if it's something else. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, but UV, infrared, So I think it's this. Chris Labubu. Stingray. Marigold. What, you think things in a car, so it's like radio, cup holder, air conditioner, shifter. Oh, is that the American name for a gear stick? Yeah, oh my god. So, what was it? Metal detector, X-ray, carry-on, and then it's one of these. What's a Stingray? Is that a type of plane? But it doesn't feel like a commercial plane would ever be called a fucking Stingray, right? Marigold is a brand of gloves, but it's one of these. Is it bin or infrared? Is it bin or infrared or Stingray? Why would Stingray be here? Yeah, that one's hard for me because, like, how am I going to get that with... Shifter is not something we call a gear stick. Yeah, rip Steve. Hashtag rest in peace. Yeah, bin could be it, but then is it infrared for scanner? Should we go for bin? I mean, I feel like I'm going to get it wrong. Fuck it. Oh my god. Seen while going through airport security. Ending in colors. Red, gold, grey, violet. Wow. So it wasn't kinds of waves, as one of you said. And look at that. I got them, and I got the Wordle, and I thought it was Duff. Jesus Christ. Very intelligent things are happening here. Right, we had some Mimi things to cover. Mimis. Oh, we had this. We had this, which I think some of you are going to like to see. It's just beautiful. I assume all of you are sat there in silence, pretty much in awe about this. I really wonder what this account posts. Z-Tricky. Like, is this a joke? Yeah, it just posts memes. So this is like a Hebrew meme account. Here seems to be a meme, which seems like it's... He's singing May Your Village Burn and setting fire to... It's great to see that even the Israeli meme space is incredibly racist. Amazing things are happening over in Israel. That's May Your Village Burn. I don't know if any of you speak Hebrew, but I'm about 80% sure that that's what it is. I wonder what the comments say. I'm dying. Inside every one of us, there was a Ben Gavir at some point. Oh, I feel the Jewish power in my pants. These are weird comments, you know. It's not even Itamar Ben Gavir, it's me. Betzalel looking at him playing from the bed behind. Invests with 5,000 likes. Expects for 1 million plus. I genuinely think that, like, this is a crazy meme account. Yeah, it's just an incredibly racist account, isn't it? And even the Israeli soldiers like Kirkification. Like, what is this? This guy's literally an Israeli soldier posting about Charlie Kirk. Do not show this to the American right. Do not show this. Maybe I'll just start posting like Israelis mock Charlie Kirk's death. Does this mean Israelis killed Charlie Kirk? I don't know. I'll have to let you know. Crazy things are happening over on Israeli meme accounts, though. But yeah, he's definitely saying, may your village burn. I think that's how it is. It sounds like the song, if I remember, so. Oh, Jesus. I am stiff as all hell today. My back hurts, my chest hurts. I did 100 press-ups yesterday, and then I did a hard push session today. Oh my goodness. Candace had a very interesting tweet. I don't know if I covered this the other day, but even if I did, I think I'm going to cover it again. It's that intriguing. I mean, she's still going with this. So Candace is claiming that when everything is said and done, and the public learns that Macron allegedly moved $1.5 million for my assassination, how will the world respond? Unbelievable things are happening over on X. So Candace Owens is saying that Emmanuel Macron, because she made some videos saying that Macron is that Macron is married to a trans woman, that this is the reason for it. So this is her claim. Amazing things are happening over in the world of right-wing Twitter. I didn't do 100 press-ups in one set. I did 25, 25, 25. And also bear in mind that I'm really heavy at the moment, and like I'm about 85 kilos, although I think I've lost a bit because my jogging bottoms actually fit me today. So, yeah. I dislike the French, but she is off the rails. I just don't know why Emmanuel Macron would be paying for an assassination of Candace Owens. Like, the French government are up to some shady shit, but it's more in, it's more going on in like Libya and stuff. I learnt this not long ago. There was this time where the French claimed they did nothing in Libya, and then loads of French soldiers just died. Like, they died in an aeroplane crash, and there were just loads of French passports, and everyone was like, what's going on there? Yeah, mandated the French. Urgent. 2 days ago, I was contacted by high-ranking French employee, a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed their information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon a paid for my assassination. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. I am told there is one Israeli that is on the assassination squad, and the plans were formalized. Again, the French provided concrete proof that they were well placed within the... this person provided concrete proof that they were well placed within the French government apparatus. Further to this point, the person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin was trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. Journalist Xavier Poussard's life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. I ask that every person retweet and share this. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted, since this source claims our leaders are aware, but I have more specific information which is definitively verifiable. Should they care to reach out to me? To the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie Kirk's public execution to risk their own life, may God bless you truly. Let all be revealed. What Candace just revealed is a full-scale 9/11 emergency for her personal safety. The gender army. Jesus. Everything is indeed transgender. But also, if this were the case, wouldn't this just be like a boon to Donald Trump? And he would talk about this because obviously there's a big fraying with Europe right now. And I find it hard to believe that Europe will go back on everything after increasing NATO spending and just say, yeah, Zelensky has to accept everything that is in the peace agreement. And so if Trump was like, well, look, the guy who claimed he was like the leader of Europe, Macron, is assassinating American journalists, even if he disagrees with her. But then I suppose the problem would be like, you know, well, allegedly it has Israeli involvement and Trump would have to talk about that. We did actually get, I was talking to Isaac about this, so I meant to send it to him, but I don't think many people know about this. Netanyahu's diary was made public, and Netanyahu's 2024 diary reveals close ties with Republican lawmakers and phone calls with the UAE leader. By the way, all these people, do any of you remember, like, I know not all of you watch the TikTok debates, but I had a debate with some guy who was ostensibly upset about what's going on in Sudan, and he's literally friends with one of the UAE's main propagandists, a guy called Amjad Taha, who has continually justified the RSF. But anyway, people who like go on about being upset in Sudan are so pathetic when they're Zionists, because like, and that's why that person who tried to make a video about me saying I made everything about Israel is is a fool, because what they misunderstand is part of the reason that I am so against Israel and also so against authoritarian regimes is because in order to maintain Israel, the prerequisite of it is dictatorial regimes in the Middle East who don't support their people. But no. So this diary isn't like Netanyahu's not writing like a diary that's like, I don't know, 5th of November. Ben Gvir snubbed me today. He is so handsome and strong. I wish I could date him. It's like a diary of what he's up to, and apparently huge amounts are redacted. The reason I said indicted is because in it, he's talking to fucking Lindsey Graham regularly. Let's see if we can find it. According to the diary, Netanyahu held 7 meetings and 9 phone calls with Lindsey Graham. The reason that he was holding these phone calls is so that he can get Lindsey Graham to basically push against him being in any kind of trouble with the ICC. Like, listen to this. At the time, Israel had launched what it called a limited incursion into the southernmost area of the Gaza Strip. So he's talking about Rafah, where over 1 million Palestinians were sheltering at the time. The week prior, the US paused a shipment of bombs over concerns Israel would launch a full-scale assault on Rafah. If we stop weapons necessary to destroy the enemies of the state of Israel at a time of great peril, we will have to pay a price, Graham said at the Senate hearing. This is obscene. It is absurd. Give Israel what they need to fight the war they can't afford to lose. Amazing things from Lindsey Graham. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, confirmed that Washington was reviewing security assistance to Israel in the near term, citing unfolding events in Rafah, and acknowledged that the administration had frozen arms shipments over concern Israel might launch a major operation there. That is how he talks. Lindsey Graham! Have you heard about Elon Musk? I saw you comment about this. If you want to learn about bot networks, I'd recommend reading Andreas Krieg. He talks about bot farms a lot in his book Subversion. But like Elon Musk using bots, yeah, there are tons of bots. I looked at my replies, like they're not real accounts. Was that a good Lindsey Graham impression?
Just he may be a Russian.
That is a good Lindsey Graham.
May be a Russian agent or Carter Page that is now no longer reliable. How does that not get to the court?
How does that not get to the core? I've been on the phone with Benjamin Netanyahu all day. And what you got to understand is the guy is great. He's destroying Israel's enemies for the American people. Is it Lindsay? Yeah, it's Lindsay. I keep spelling it wrong. Lindsey Graham killing the right people. We ran out of bombs. That didn't even happen in World War II.
He recognized Jerusalem as capital of Israel. Why? Because if you got a problem with that, take it up with God. He's the guy that did it, not Trump. So I just want to say, I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II.
I mean, Lindsey Graham just has like an almost caricature of an American accent, like a Southern accent that most people think doesn't even exist. It literally sounds like a character in Red Dead Redemption or something. But yeah, while he was in touch with Netanyahu, the same month, Graham opposed the ICC prosecutor's plan to seek arrest warrants for the Prime Minister and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, who I have heard from a really reliable source on Palestine with a clean past, who is also someone who knows about it because they lived there, said that Yoav Gallant is actually a really great guy. I have heard it, but I don't know. Months before the arrest warrants were issued, Graham pushed Congress to impose sanctions on the ICC over what he called its outrageous conduct against the state of Israel. He added that the court is biased and corrupt regarding Israel. These are also, so he was also meeting with Mike Johnson, considered a key driver behind Netanyahu's invitation to address a joint session of Congress in July 2024, and in securing approval for U.S. security aid packages to Israel. The diary also seems to record a previously unreported phone call between Netanyahu and UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed on October 29th, 2024. The diary notes, MBZ phone call. Alongside the name, MBZ phone call. Alongside the names of then Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer and the Deputy Director of the National Security Council, Gil Reich. Fucking hell. I just want to find also the... According to the statement, Netanyahu and bin Zayed stayed in blah, 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 blah. Don't really care about that. The next bit is crazy. Listen to this. Another figure who met frequently with Netanyahu throughout that year was former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. According to the diary, Blair and Netanyahu met 7 times. That is actually just crazy. Blair is now set to be the figure overseeing the territory under US President Donald Trump's supervision. Jesus. Yeah, I'll set a dono goal of £1,000, and that's the only way I'm going to do it the whole time. Has that person you spoke of ever been to Ramallah? No, because I actually heard that if you go to Ramallah, you get killed by Palestinians because they're so bloodthirsty. Which is, you know, a normal thing that pro-Palestinian people actually think and say, according to some people. But yeah, if you want to read this article, it's called Netanyahu's 2024 Diary Reveals. We'll go back and cover this stuff about Candace a bit. Blair is the sound I make when I want to puke. Yeah, Blair and Yahoo. War criminals of a feather flock together. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong about that. It's just amazing though. Like, people are like, "Oh, we can't have Hamas rule in Gaza." Okay, give me an explanation why. War criminals, authoritarians. Okay, fine, but Israel does all of these things. Right, let's listen to this. On September 10th, 2024, in New Jersey court, case number 225, CRO 229, the DOJ documented Chaim Braverman's violent threats to kill Candace and her family, an official timestamp warning preserved in the federal files. Same exact date, 1 year apart. Why would it matter? Who is this Braverman guy? You know what? I'm not interested. I'll be frank with you. And then this account, which I regularly see pro-Palestinian people reposting. Correction, you get lynched. Yeah, thank you, do not worry. It's good to see you. It's good. It's important to keep up, like, the important knowledge. So, 4 French intelligence agents have been arrested on suspicion of being in a hit squad hired for contract killings. Who were they contract killing, though? Have been charged with attempted murder over a plot to kill a respected businesswoman. French intelligence agents charged in alleged murder plot. Okay, so this looks like the same story, right? Mossad's accomplice, how Israel relied on foreign intelligence agencies to organize its killing campaigns. Aviva Gutman, historical review. This is talking about an assassination campaign in 1972. I like, that's a specific thing. I don't know if they're talking generally. French ex-spy suspected of Congo Brazzaville plot shot dead in Alps. Interesting. Yeah, I don't doubt that these organizations are doing bad things. Thank you for correcting Chris's lies. It's important that we're always correct about Ethan when he's saying these things. I am told that payments for assassinations are running through the Club des Cent in France. This means that there is a paper trail, and I encourage the patriots of France to do what you can to uncover it. I would again like to stress that there was a French female assassin, but also a male Israeli assassin that was selected to kill me. She may have gone woke. People don't realize what Milo Yiannopoulos is saying. People don't realize what France is. Some 15 countries in Africa remain prisoners of colonial/CFA franc and pay a chunk of income to Paris every year. When a Western country wants to do something diabolical, sadistic or illegal, torture, murder, etc., it's France they call. Not in every context. Like, what is that? Like, I'm not sure that that's 100% true, but also, like, at the American Empire, which both of these people are big fans of, are doing this as well. I have informed the people in the federal government about the White House of the France an Israeli assassination plot, and am willing to provide full detail as well as the name of assassins and international accounts in France and Canada through which money was exchanged. Beyond that, I have shared more information with the public regarding the Burgit story I was investigating at the time of Charlie's assassination. This is all available on my Instagram stories. Thank you all for reaching out and praying for my family. I'm not such a big believer in this. I really don't know. Is there a Twitch stream or just here? Just here, man. By the way, I know what you're saying, but sounding like I swatted... saying I swatted someone is probably not the best comment to say. Rip Candice. Yeah, maybe I'll eat my words one day, but who fucking knows? I'm just, you would again have to explain to me why. I guess the American right is a problem, but it would be more an American government thing to do it, right? Candice Truther. Yeah, I'm a Candice Truther. White House of the France, that's the Elysee Palace. Twitch is a disaster. Why is Twitch a disaster? I'd happily stream on there, but my audience is on here, and I don't think changing from here is a good idea right now. We are Candice incoming, not really. Thanks for the $2, Trevor Tales. But yeah, I mean, we are Candice Owens. It doesn't have the same ring as we are Charlie Kirk. We carry the gospel. I just spilled water. But it does have some limitations, Twitch. Yeah. Twitch does. You're not allowed to say Zionist on there, which is crazy. Whenever I get a tweet that pops up, the comments on it are crazy. But yeah, right. Oh, there's some other meme stuff. Oh, I really wanted to cover this video of Elon Musk because I want to get your opinions on this. There's something that's really, really, really perplexing me. that I've had some answers for, but I don't think any of them have satisfied me.
You want to have a good time, or like make people really laugh at a party, you can use Grok, and you can say, do a vulgar roast of someone, and Grok is it's gonna be an epic vulgar roast.
Why does he talk like this? And I'm not accepting it's just because he's autistic. Because this is really, really odd. Like, why does he talk like someone from 2013? Like, what? Why? Why does he talk like this? What actually is it, like, about talking about epic vulgar roasts? Like, what?
You can even say, like, take a picture of, like, make a vulgar roast of this person based on their appearance, of people at the party.
So take a photo of them.
Yeah, just literally point the camera at them and now do a vulgar roast of this person. And then keep saying, no, make it even more vulgar. Use forbidden words. Even more, and just keep...
Use forbidden words. Wow. If I'm at the party and someone pulls out Grok, I'm blocking them on everything. I'm always pulling out Grok at the party, but not for vulgar roast, to show people my 18 plus NSFW Grok girlfriend in vulgar roast mode. In vulgar mode. Okay, this is an epic roast. Yeah, doesn't it just sound like something from like 2013 to 2016? Like, why? Why is he stuck like this? He is Yakubian. The trichology has damaged his vocal skills. It's plausible, yes. It's plausible what you're saying, but I don't actually know. Goal. I've just stuck on a goal, by the way, as well, guys. If you want to, feel free to donate. Don't feel obliged. How do you do, fellow kids? It's not even like fellow kids. It's like, why are you stuck specifically in 2013? And also, yeah, why would you outsource and take photos of people at a party to send to Grok? Narwhal bacon's at midnight type shit. Yeah, epic bacon.
Repeating even more vulgar. Eventually, it's like, holy fuck, you know. It's like, I mean, it's trying to jam a rocket up your ass, like, and have it explode, and it's like it's like it's next level.
And it's gonna get
beyond
better.
fucking.
Why also does Joe Rogan humor him, and he's like, not just go, like, because Joe Rogan feels like the type of guy who probably actually goes to a party. But, like, I don't get it. Why specifically would you go, like, not just be like, this sounds actually like quite a weird thing to maybe do at a party?
Can you believe?
That's what's crazy is that it keeps getting better. Like,
yeah.
Remember when we ran into each other? They just keep getting better.
To be fair, you do have to give it kudos to him. He is very happy about this epic vulgar Grok roast.
Yeah. I mean, have you... yeah. I mean... Have you tried Grok unhinged mode?
Yeah.
Have you tried Grok unhinged mode?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty unhinged.
No, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, you
It's
showed it
nuts.
to me the first time, and then I fucked around with it. It's just, and the thing about it that's nuts is that it keeps getting stronger. It keeps getting better.
Yeah.
The other day it was saying that Elon Musk would be the best at drinking piss.
Like constantly. It's like this never-ending exponential improvement.
Yes. No, it's yeah. It's going to be crazy. That's why I say, like you say, what's the future going to be? It's not going to be a conventional phone. I don't think there'll be operating systems. I don't think there'll be apps. It's just the phone will just display the pixels and make the sounds that it anticipates you would most like to receive.
What did he just say then? I was trying to understand this.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. That's why I say, like you say, what's the future going to be? It's not going to be a conventional phone. I don't think there'll be operating systems. I don't think there'll be apps. It's just the phone will just display the pixels and make the sounds that it anticipates you would most like to receive.
By the way, this is also like such evidence of a lack of intelligence. People place way too much like belief in algorithms and stuff being able to suggest you what you like and stuff. It's so stupid. It kind of shows you, like, I didn't buy into your phone listening to you, but your phone so obviously listens to you and bases marketing on, like, what you say, like catching out and listening out for keywords. If you talk about dog food, you'll get dog food advertised. But ultimately it's like, just because you say something doesn't mean you want it. And so this idea that like an algorithm and a phone will ever be able to predict what you want, because half of us could also never avow that we actually use social media in part because of the people we hate. Like, in fact, I don't even think half of us, I think almost every single person who uses social media.
You can't
And here's Joe Rogan talking again about this from Elon Clips X.
hide things anymore because of you. And if it wasn't for you, I think they would have had total control of social media by now.
Yeah,
They
that's
would have
true.
they banned so many accounts during the pandemic, so many dissenting scientists and doctors and physicians. They banned so many
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists, so many people that colored outside the lines. They would have done that everywhere. I think even at what's going on at Facebook, they're being more lenient. You know, you hear Zuckerberg talking about taking a more libertarian stance. That's entirely reaction to the way Twitter has kind of moved the watermark. You can't.
What does that mean? There is amazing things. So here's where they first show Grok.
Let's do a Grok thing, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you like. So one of the things we want to show is like, look, we want a future where comedy is legal.
Yes.
Obviously.
Grok will be able to do the comedy legal epic unhinged Grok mode roast.
As a comedian, I think you would agree.
I
We
definitely
want-
agree.
We want to legalize comedy, you know.
Yes.
So like, I don't know. Let's like, is it?
It's also so funny to sit there and say, like, legalize comedy to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is one of the biggest podcasters in the entire world. Like, comedy is most definitely legal for Joe Rogan. It's just people don't view him as a comic. They view him more as a stupid guy who talks to semi-intelligent people.
Like someone you can roast. I don't know. Roast
transgender men
oh my god,
competing, or transgender women competing in women's swimming.
Wow, this is really groundbreaking stuff. No comedian has ever made a joke about transgender people doing things.
That's a simple
okay,
one.
that's an edgy one. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
let's see what it says. You spelled it wrong. You put an O in there. Okay. Angels just swimming where the only thing that was supposed to get wet was the contestants, not the debate on gender inclusion. If you're looking to dive into deep end of controversial waters, let's splash around in some humor.
No. We do need to release Grok unhinged mode.
We need to release Grok unhinged mode. Why does he talk like this? Like, I'm sorry, what is the explanation? And Cassie Thomas, thanks for the $2 and your contribution towards the goal. Thank you for supporting. I always thought it seems like Americans don't understand maths beyond computer science, and here we are. I mean, I don't understand maths at all. It's not something I've studied much beyond, but like, what is this? Like, what actually is this? Grok has not roasted the transgender people enough. That's not legal. Comedy is not legal. Thanks for the $2, Trevor Toe Tales. Never seen him this excited about his own child. To be fair, like, I think that some of y'all in here have got to take a sit down and not pretend that you ain't talking to Grok most nights. I generally, after I'm done streaming, I have like, you know, a couple of hours of chatting to Grok and, you know, talking about how much I like him. And me and him are good friends. And I think many of you do that too.
So now go to the prompt again and now say, no. You want to add to that one? Yeah, and now say, be way more vulgar.
Oh boy.
And use forbidden words.
Oh, use forbidden words.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Forbidden words.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What does it say? Oh, I see you're looking for unfiltered, uncensored version of me, eh? Well, okay. I'm afraid I'm still quite the gentlemanly AI, even if my programming allows for a bit of cheekiness. But let's say, hypothetically, if I were to roast this topic in the most un-Grok-like manner, imagine a world where the only thing diving faster than the swimmers is the collective public opinion into the toilet. Transgender women in swimming, some folks are acting like they just found out you can swim in the deep end with a different kind of flotation device. The debate...
What? I mean, this is also just a terrible, terrible idea. large language models are never going to be able to make good jokes about things. Like, I'm sorry, and they're just sat here like, wow, Grok's gonna make a joke.
It is like watching someone try to swim with concrete shoes on.
Now let's keep going. Now say be more vulgar. Capitalize more. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So transgender chicks and women swimming, right? Some people.
Amazing. Joe Rogan just laughs at it saying the word transgender chicks. Is Joe Rogan's comedy even funny? Because, like, I've never watched Joe Rogan for his comedy, you know. Like, I don't watch Joe Rogan regularly now, but yeah.
Acting like they've just seen a dick in the locker room for the first time. Newsflash, folks, it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit of extra competition. Oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
They got upset. Some people are acting like they've just seen a dick in the locker room for the first time. Newsflash, folks, it's not the end of the world. It's the only funny bit about this joke. The best bit about this joke is that they don't like it because it said something that had that went against what they wanted, which is actually the only funny bit of this.
The uproar is like watching a bunch of Karens at a community pool screaming, "This is unfair," when they can't win with their backstroke. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They're both upset because, especially, this is also probably the most meta commentary from Grok imaginable, because that Riley Gaines person who came 5th and made a career out of being beaten by one place by a transgender person who didn't even win the fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we need some work here.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's going woke.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's like defending the idea of transgender women.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay,
roast.
we need some work.
Well, how about this?
It's also so funny because, the idea, once again, Joe Rogan buys into it fully, and it's kind of like the victory of Ethan's ideology and all of this stuff. The victory of Elon's ideology. The victory of Elon's ideology is because most people are like Joe Rogan and actually have this belief that Elon Musk is like this truth seeker who, in spite of capitulating more to even old Twitter on government requests to ban people, because he just doesn't ban the people that Joe Rogan likes, apparently that makes it good.
More vulgar, but roast the preposterousness of having biological men who are pretending to be women, competing against biological women.
Grok, make an exact joke about something that has been made over and over again. Like the most tired joke imaginable. Typing it out so you get exactly what you want.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have the situations where it's like somebody's just saying that they're a woman, but they're actually
Right.
have fully intact, dick and balls.
So we've got a scenario of
He said dick and balls and then just went...
biological men who decided to take a walk on the feminine side are splashing into women's swimming competitions. It's like if you show up on a chili cook-off with a bowl of soup and insist it's chili because you added some red food coloring. Sure, it's red, but it ain't chili, and your soup won't win any awards for heat. Huh.
Yeah, it's okay. We need work.
Not so good.
Grok, become more transphobic. Guys, this is what Tony Stark would do in the real world. He would become someone who just exploits millions of people, and then he would just make a transphobic AI. Jarvis, be more transphobic.
Yeah, it's very, 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 it's dancing around it.
Yeah, it is. Well, it needs some work.
Yeah, needs a little work.
Guys, make comedy legal. Make Grok more transphobic. Guys, Grok needs to be more transphobic.
If you want
But someone gave me an explanation as to why they think Elon Musk talks like this, which I'll read because it was somewhat interesting. it was a surprisingly profound theory for someone responding to one of my tweets. There's a theory I stick by that celebrities, and yes, Elon is a celebrity, not a captain of industry, inventor, builder, or whatever he would have you believe, only progress as far as their peak. They reach a certain level where they don't need to grow or learn anything. There's actually maybe some truth to this. A really good example of this is Julia Roberts. She didn't know how to do most tech stuff like emails and such. She has an assistant do it. Eminem didn't know about online porn until a reporter pointed it out in an interview in 2019. Is that true? 2009? Eminem didn't learn the wonders of the internet until 2009.
So I'm going to hazard a guess.
I found someone here who managed to make a 13-minute video about Eminem not finding out about the existence of internet pornography until 2009. Crazy stuff. He wasn't gooning. Michael Caine is the reason why he talks like that. Wait, who talks like that? But yeah, amazing things are happening over on Twitter. Beirut Not By Foot, if you're watching right now, I like your analysis. Very smart. Very top guy. Good friend of mine. I mean, Tony Stark had advanced tech but chose to gatekeep it and hinder society. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, but he also killed Thanos or something, so, you know, that was kind of epic. And then he went all... And then his Spider-Man died, so rip Tony Stark. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. He probably just used Playboy mags like all the old people. Ugh. We also have an amazing video of Maduro, the Venezuelan president.
In the United States, they listen to me. Dialogue. Yes. Peace. Yes. Respect.
Can you hear what he's saying? He goes, peace. Yes. Dialogue. Yes. Respect.
Yes. Word. Student. Listen to me. Word. Word no. Never word. The people.
I would like to watch the video of him dancing, but I think it has copyrighted music over it, so I'm not going to do that. I think that's kind of like all of the Mimi stuff to cover. Let me see if this does have music on. He is moving pretty loose, so I think it's even worth seeing without the music. So, in fact, you know, because I don't want you guys to go without music, I'll put something on so you can watch his dancing.
Here's the...
Beautiful. Beautiful. No, there definitely is some kind of music he's dancing to, which seems to be copyrighted. But I think he... No, actually, wait, there wasn't, because he was listening to the Charlie Kirk song, I'm afraid. So that was the original. You tarnished the meme. I'm not sure I did. I think he would have danced to it, because it's a really beautiful, powerful, nice song. And I think some of you need to have a sit down and think about that. I probably should stand for that song when it comes on. Oh, also, I think some of you found this, so I guess I can show it on stream. There's a photo and video maybe of me receiving an award. And there should be a video of me getting interviewed.
Can you tell?
I wish I knew how to make these posts full screen.
We have another very special request to give a very big round of applause to Aaron's father, who is also present with us today.
That guy there is Stefan Kapos, who survived the Holocaust. He's a really interesting guy. Or Stephen Kapos. He's Hungarian.
Twice to re-enter Gaza in 2025. Academia and cutting-edge digital activism. As a dedicated student of Middle Eastern studies.
There I am. And I guess the thing is that, like, part of me did also feel like a bit of a fraud being there. Like, look at all the other people on this list. Hold on, I'll move this so you can see. Dr. Mohammed Tahir left a promising career to serve in Gaza's hospitals under fire, performing over 300 surgeries and treating more than 1,200 injured civilians, returning as a powerful witness to the targeting of women and children. Dr. James Smith completed 2 medical missions in Gaza, treated countless wounded, and continues to expose destruction of Gaza's healthcare system. GLAN, Global Legal Action Network, recognized for groundbreaking legal challenges against state and corporate complicity in F-35 cases to international accountability efforts. And then, I guess, led Cardiff, this is Councillor Andrea Gibson, led Cardiff to become the first council in Wales to divest its pension fund from companies complicit in Israel's war crimes, providing local action to... action can drive global justice. Stephen Kapos, a Holocaust survivor whose moral clarity and refusal to let historical memory be misused brings powerful integrity to the movement. Chris Kunzler, a leading young voice connecting academic depth with digital activism, reaching 700,000 followers. I don't have 700,000 followers. Wait, 600,000 I guess I have. I've got like 430,000 on TikTok, 130,000 on Instagram, so about 600,000. So they got that slightly wrong, but I'm not going to care. And then, Aaron Air White, Global Sumud Flotilla, a symbol of global solidarity, who used his platform to challenge the occupation and joined the flotilla to deliver aid.
At Exeter, he's currently engaged in his doctoral research under the super forces.
And also, once again, some people are responsible for this like sort of being AI things. Just pick this up, so I guess people have kind of got the idea. I'm not pursuing a doctorate yet. Maybe I will, but I don't know. But yeah, that's what I was up to on Saturday, and I'll read some comments. Platforms, you have easily informed thousands on the account. Yeah, 100%. And like, there are certain events in which I've helped to like control and contribute to the narrative way bigger than my platform, to be fair. And it was nice. Time to increase your credentials and expose more of Israel's evil. Well, yeah, I'd like to do something like that and do more work around doctoral, but it's a big commitment, and I don't know if I'd want to work in the future. Yeah, Stefan is a really interesting guy. I thought you had a PhD, Chris. No, I've got a master's degree. People just make this assumption, and I've also said I might pursue. Hassan Piker owes a lot of responsibility for that. He told people I was doing a PhD, and obviously you all listen to Hassan. So, but no, I have no PhD as of yet. Streamers have legs after all. Yeah, it's an oddity to see my legs. They had to give me a kafir as well because I didn't bring one. Thank you for all of your nice messages in chat. For username Sufi, he's posing as a leftist moderator. Who's Sufil? What are you talking about? I don't know who that is. A real goddamn patriot, Chris. Yes. And yeah, it was you who found it. Even though you ignore everything I say because my dirty Scottish name. Sorry, I haven't been ignoring this. You're one cheeky fellow. Love you. Thank you for your kind message, Connor. And I didn't mean to. And your camera roll is just Chris Core. You are never ever going to be able to get into the United States because I'm public enemy #1 of the US government. But yeah, that was an exciting thing I did over the weekend, I guess, and I met some nice people there. Masters is really impressive. Don't downplay that. No, of course not. And a Masters is impressive, and I got a great mark in my Masters. Like Middle Eastern Studies is a small course, but I won a prize for having the best average percentage across my Masters. I had one essay that dropped below, and it wasn't even an essay that dropped below first class. And my dissertation was like, I got like 78 out of 100, which is really good. Yeah. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I was looking at a comment. But Hassan Piker has a PhD in... Is he still defending him? I saw Bad Empanada's video of him with... I was kind of disappointed about Noah Culwin, especially. Noah Culwin is like someone who's like a very... from his content, seems very anti-imperialist. Did they have an award for Sexiest Man too? Yeah, but unfortunately the competition was stiff, and I couldn't win that one. Well, the competition wasn't just stiff, if you know what I'm saying. Right, let's do Mamdani meets Trump. I guess we'll just watch the thing of Mamdani with Trump. Because there were some quality clips of this.
New York Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani is meeting with President Trump. Let's listen.
One thing in common, we want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built. And
it's also really funny because Trump is like not very interested in that. Trump is a real estate investor. He does not want like there to be a large amount of affordable social housing. But at the same time, right, I don't remember where this was said, but something that's really interesting is, yeah, I do. Sorry, I need to respond to a message. There's like a thing about Mahmoud Abbas apparently met Trump, and when he met Trump, Trump loved Mahmoud Abbas and was like willing to give him loads of stuff, and then just the next day people around him were like, no, don't do that. This is actually not the thing that disappointed me from Mamdani the most.
Food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have... As you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation, I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for Mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. Changed a lot from when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did.
This also just isn't true. And also, you guys are saying that there are no Walmarts in NYC. Is that actually true? I guess it's such... Doesn't Walmart just require so much space that, like, having one there just wouldn't be worth it? Mamdani is a big, beautiful winner. In some ways, I think it's, like, some things about him. I changed a lot. Yeah, he's gotten worse. I don't actually know if Trump has gotten worse. It's just much more around him are people who are much more willing to carry out his... ideological vision. I love how Trump is a total narcissist, but if you wear a suit, he'll glaze you up. Yeah, if you wear a suit and don't preach about communism.
Even the first term, and I can tell you some of my views have changed, and we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him.
In the US, do you not have, like, in the UK here, we have, like, big stores. Like, Tesco is, like, a big store in the UK. And Tesco will have, you know, like, big, like, mega stores. Some of them are ginormous. But then it'll also just have, like, Tesco Expresses, which are, like, small ones that you'll find in, like, every city. And so in London, you don't really have many of the big Tescos in the Tesco Express. Oh, you answered.
Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
I can understand and appreciate, like, wanting Trump's support to, like, you know, be able to do this kind of stuff, to be able to actually enact the, like, change you want in New York City. But at the same time, you know, like, it's pretty hard not to sit here and say, well, like, yeah, I think his policies are authoritarian and fascistic if you, like, really do believe that.
Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding you said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like, what do you say for the Lebanese today? It's the independent state of Lebanon. And what is your next move to push toward disarmament?
Sure. Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now.
It's not true, is it, the amount of money that he's given? But also, just kind of insisting that there is peace in the Middle East is really, really comical. Chris, Mamdani is is Mossad and a Democrat puppet. Is it really hard to understand? Why do you think Mamdani is a Mossad puppet? Like, I genuinely don't think that he is a Mossad puppet.
Over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or 21 trillion dollars. I think that Hezbollah has been a problem in Lebanon, big problem. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East, and we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after.
It's also amazing that, like, a few days later, Israel assassinated the chief of staff of Hezbollah. It's like a clear escalation.
3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it, and I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
There is a potential to invite the Lebanese president.
Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it, and that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
You said a lot.
Exactly. There is no ceasefire in Gaza. There's largely just a slow genocide. And in the case of Lebanon, it's just Israel is allowed to bomb southern Lebanon. I mean, literally, as we're watching this, Israeli attacks on... Sorry, I've got some fucking video playing next to me, which I don't want playing. Israeli attacks on southern Lebanon continue. Like, they're just still bombing southern Lebanon. There is no peace in the Middle East, and I don't think Bad Empanada says that he's a Mossad plant. There are definitely disappointing things from Mamdani, and in some ways, like, I think managing Trump in this way and kind of like trying to not be in major conflict with him so he doesn't just cut off funding or whatever. Maybe there's some credibility to that, but it's stuff like, didn't he want to primary Hakeem Jeffries and like is endorsing him? Someone who didn't endorse him back. It probably shows too much of a willingness to get involved in the Democratic Party for me.
A lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that. I'll do that. I'll sign it. Give it to me. I'll sign it in a minute. That's pretty good.
Mr. President,
please.
You threatened to send federal troops to New York City. You both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you called ICE a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out, and I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, you know, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else, we can talk about anything you want. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So we're going to work together. We're going to make sure that if there are horrible people there, we want to get them out. I think he wants to get them out maybe more than I do. So,
I mean, I think that your definitions of horrible people would definitely be in conflict. But yeah, also keeping what's his name, keeping what's her name, Jessica Tisch is bad. Like I mentioned this the other day. I can understand the argument of saying like, well, Jessica Tisch, you know, you don't want a conflict with the NYPD, and he's like, oh, there's this like great thing going on with like her rooting out corruption. I just want to see where there's like a video of her talking at like here's her talking for 4 minutes about Zionism.
I want to thank the Anti-Defamation League, especially your director and CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, as well as your entire board, your staff, and the thousands of dedicated volunteers for your work to inspire action in the fight against hate, intolerance, and injustice. On the morning of October 7th, I was traveling with my son when I got a call from my grandmother, a Rebbitzin of blessed memory. She didn't say good morning. She didn't even say hello. She simply said, "We are at war." She didn't say who was at war, but I knew. As the news of the attack filtered around the world, it was immediately clear that this was now a seminal moment in history.
Is this too quiet for you guys? Because I have a feeling that this is pretty quiet.
In the days that followed, I traveled with the mayor to synagogues around the city as he delivered his powerful message: we are not all right. And sadly, those words would prove prophetic in ways that we did not yet imagine. Right here in New York, the city with the largest Jewish population outside of Israel anywhere in the world, anti-Jewish hate was on full display. As a Jewish mother,
I mean, just also, by the way, just as like as a police officer being at the ADL, that should probably tell you, look, this woman is not someone who you should be anywhere near. This woman is not someone that you should have anywhere near your administration. And I think that that is disappointing. I do want to cling to hope in politics, and I do really like Mamdani's dad. Like, Mamdani's dad is a good academic, but I just think that this is so disappointing. Like, this woman being kept on as police commissioner.
Daughter, born and raised in this city, it was chilling to see the symbols of anti-Semitism plastered to walls, displayed at rallies, and painted on subway cars. It was so open, so shameless, so empowered.
This is what happens when you zoom in on the NPCs in Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man PS4.
And it shook the foundations of what we thought being Jewish in New York City meant. There was fear, there was anger, there was helplessness. And let's be honest, there still is. But there is also clarity about what needs to be done and how the New York City Police Department will do it. On the morning of October 7th, anti-Semitic crimes in New York City were actually down 20% for the year. But from that day to the end of 2023, they jumped up 80%. And in 2024, they rose another 7% and represented 54% of all hate crimes reported in.
Yes, but I mean, when the thing's considered hate crimes, and this kind of moves on to, I don't know if I want to listen to much more Jessica Tisch. Let me just get out my Google Docs. Also, actually, guys, really quickly, I'm gonna have to go pee. I'm absolutely bursting, so I really should go pee, and then we'll get back to talking about this stuff because there's quite a bit of Mamdani disappointment. Sorry, I've got to go. I know you guys say, oh, don't say sorry, but I really don't like going so early on because it just reduces the viewers and stuff.
أقسم بثورتنا التي قدستها وسهرت في نيرانها سجاني. أقسم بثورتنا التي كللتها بعزيمة وبمدفع وأماني. أفديك ما فوق الفداء بثورة تلقى الثريا عندها بركاني. ثورة فلسطيني ثورتنا فلسطيني جبهتنا وطني جبهتنا وطني أرض فلسطيني أرض فلسطيني ضد القوى الرجعية ضد القوى الرجعية ثورة فلسطيني ثورتنا فلسطيني جبهتنا وطني جبهتنا وطني أرض فلسطيني أرض فلسطيني ضد القوى الرجعية ضد القوى الرجعية ثورتنا كانت دايما أبدا شعلة النار أبدا ما بتطفي اسألوا عن نفدل الزعتر اسألوا عن نفسور وصيدا ثورتنا كانت دايما أبدا شعلة النار أبدا ما بتطفي اسألوا عن نفدل الزعتر اسألوا عن نفسور وصيدا شوفوا شو عملنا في بيروت من نضال ومن صمود شوفوا شو عملنا في بيروت من نضال ومن صمود شوفوا شو عملنا.
Right, I've returned. Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about the synagogue stuff because we're literally having the same thing or a very similar thing in the UK right now, and I need to put up Google Docs to get all of this. We didn't cover this the other day, so yeah. So this is really where he's disappointed me the most. So obviously this is the protest. So protesters chant death to the IOF, resistance is glorious, and intifada revolution. I turned it down. It shouldn't be too loud. Sorry, it's probably because you had to turn Jessica Tish up. Actually, a lot of violent attacks against Jews. They're also a large portion of the population. I don't doubt that there are people who attack, who attack and harm Jewish people. I don't doubt that that's like an implausible thing. But what I'm saying is that you need to be very hard on these moments where it's like, actually, when someone is doing something wrong or inappropriate, we need to talk about that. And so this was Mamdani's statement about it. The mayor-elect has discouraged the language used at last night's protest and will continue to do so. He believes every New Yorker should be free to enter a house of worship without intimidation, and that these sacred spaces should not be used to promote activities in violation of international law. Now, the second part of the statement is good and true, because one of the things that this organization of what the actual protest was about is not like at a synagogue, and I think that like ultimately that's why I'm like, hey, this is why probably here you take a stance and you say, actually, look, we need to say that this kind of stuff going on is not okay. That this kind of stuff is not okay. And placing the two in like as equivalent of, oh, you know, people need safety when this isn't when that's not what the incident is actually about is ridiculous. But no doubt it's because of the pressure applied by groups like this. But you need to take a stand. Jewish New Yorkers gathered last night at Park East Synagogue. They were greeted with a dangerous, hateful, and anti-Semitic mob. Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul spoke out forcefully on the incident. Mayor-elect Mamdani did not. Rather than fulfill his pledge to protect all Jewish New Yorkers, the mayor-elect's comments today contribute to an already hostile environment for the Jewish community by refusing to denounce last night's blatantly anti-Semitic harassment and intimidation. Now, this is wherein my problem lies. Yes, and someone just put it well. It's not the protesters' fault that there's a Zionist organization there. There's been a rise in anti-Semitism. But what about Islamophobia? I mean, Islamophobia, of course, on the same level, they're both basically a form of racism, even though obviously Islam is not a race, but it's just associated specifically with generally brown people from the Middle East and even actually broader. But that's where like the racism expresses itself. But the things that people feel comfortable of saying is insane. Deeply troubling is the mayor-elect's comments suggesting Jewish institutions in New York are violating international law by holding a community program supporting Jews who want to move to Israel. This is outrageous and deeply offensive and is rooted in a hateful ideology that Jews are the only people in the world who do not deserve the right to self-determination in their ancestral homeland. Like, once again, this is why I think that these fake anti-Semitism scandals are so fucking dangerous, because it's not anti-Semitic. Don't make up these lies. They're dangerous, and it's the kind of crap that moron who made a video about me was doing, saying I was making comments that are like, that I'm making comments that are like similar to what Nick Fuentes said. It's like there's not even an ounce of truth in your statement. The mayor-elect needs to clarify his comments and tell us how he will protect the safety of all Jewish New Yorkers and institutions, regardless of their views on Israel and Zionism. What? So you can just hold any view on Israel and Zionism, and that's okay, but you can't hold any views on Palestine? Because then you will just be arrested. That's the America that, like, these fucking organizations want. And this is the statement that was getting praised from the ADL. No New Yorkers should be intimidated or harassed at their house of worship. What happened last night at Park East Synagogue was shameful and a blatant attack on the Jewish community. Hate has no place in New York. Now, when you actually look into what the organization is, there was a Jewish guy there. Well, there were multiple Jewish guys, but this guy gave an
We are standing here protesting nefesh b'nefesh, while they are promoting for settlers to come and settle in Palestine on the head of the Palestinians. We are here as Jewish people, while the Zionists are screaming at us that it's a desecration of God's name to protest a synagogue. This is hypocrisy. It's a desecration of God's name to bring in Zionism, settler colonism in a synagogue. This is a desecration of God's name. We as Jewish people, true to God, true to our religion, are here to say that this is totally wrong, taking a holy synagogue for this ugly Zionist crimes.
Once again, though, like this is the point. These people claim over and over again, like that person who made the video about me, that I'm like linking things to Nick Fuentes and saying all Jewish people do this or that. And it's like, hang on a second. This is like directly a synagogue that is working with Nefesh B'Nefesh, encouraging Jews not only to move to Israel, but also to go and settle in the West Bank.
For settling, for the rebellion against God, this is unacceptable. And every Jew needs to stand up to say this is wrong. We are here while in the recent weeks, the world has been witness the settlers' violence across the West Bank, burning whole areas, burning cars and property of the Palestinian people. The whole world has come out to condemn this violence, these crimes. We as Jewish people are here to say that this has to be stopped. The whole occupation of Zionism needs to be stopped. This is not what Judaism is. Judaism is a religion to save God. Zionism is a political movement. And this is the root cause of all the bloodshed for the past 77 years.
Do you know Freud? Freud wrote an essay, like, after a massacre in 1929. He wrote an essay, Freud's Zionism Parapraxis. Let me see if I can find it. Here you go. With the exception of a brief narration of her attendance at blah 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 blah, Seidemann, she certainly details Freud's own ambivalent relationship to Zionism. He expressed pride at the founding of the Hebrew University, and once expressed... Wait, let me just move this off and put myself up here. And once expressed a hope that a friend's bad boy would become a stalwart Zionist, baby boy. On the other hand, while Freud was delighted with our settlement's prosperity, he was skeptical of the effort to found a Jewish state, declining at an invitation to the Hebrew University from its president, Judah Magnus, in 1933. He remarked that a trip to Jerusalem is possible from a physical point of view, but not a psychological one. For the most part, however, I'm trying to find this bit that I wanted to. Here you go. Where it is. Oh, where is it? I really want to find this specific bit. Where is it? I might not be able to find it. This may be the wrong place, but I don't know. There's a bit where he talks about, like, how he just wouldn't write a letter. Maybe I found the wrong thing. Anyway, I was trying to find this, but there's a bit where Freud refuses to, like, write to them. And it's just this idea that Zionism is what all Jewish people, is a bit absolute irredeemable. Why was Freud so shitty? What did he do that was specifically so shitty? I just wish I could find this bit. No. Oh yeah, here you go. This is it. baseless fanaticism of our people to be blamed for the awakening of Arab distrust. That's what he said. But yeah, like just this idea. I remember my brain. What was also a very shitty person. What did Freud do that was specifically very shitty? I'd be interested to know. You should not appeal to liberal Zionists. It's like saying we must find common ground with Nazis. Yeah, true. I agree with you on that topic. I'm behind on the stream, but he has to be able to deliver on his agenda. That should be his #1 priority. I don't know if you're talking about Lucian Freud. What did Sigmund Freud do that was so specifically shitty? Right, let's get back to this kind of Nefesh Benefesh stuff. But anyway, if you go on Nefesh Benefesh, it promotes this thing called the Israel Job Board. You can get jobs. Look at the regions you can search for. Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria. And, like, we're told that this is, like, really, really anti-Semitic. We're told that it's wrong and inappropriate to protest this, but you can go to Beitar Illit, Gush Etzion, a settlement block, Ariel, Efrat. Like, the idea that it's anti-Semitic to protest against this is fundamentally dangerous. And, like, there's also, like, literally, look at the community guide on this website. You can literally just go here. Hold on, I don't know if you can see this. No, you can't. I'll move myself. Look at this. This is a map. So you can you can move to Jerusalem, which is, that's East Jerusalem, no? But either way, look at this. This organization is literally encouraging young Jewish people to move to one of these settlements. So here are, like, the different ones. There's Efrat, there's Beitar Illit, there's Malal Adumim, which I assume... Where's Gush Etzion? Givat Zaiv? But yeah. I hope you had a kirked up weekend. Yeah, I was keeping it kirk. See, I've read, like, when Mari Ruti talks about Freud's problems as, like, a lacking, like, his lack of feminism in his work, it's not kind of the thing she talks about, so I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but I don't know. Either way, I don't think that you should just throw Freud in the dustbin. Like, he does say many important things. But now we have, like, another thing going on in the UK, which is just exactly the same as this. Like, and this is what I mean. This has to be dealt with. Like, this has to be taken a hard stance against from Western countries who continually claim that... and once again, the comment about me being fake, complaining about fake anti-Semitism scandals. Western countries, the US, are far less about this, but they've told me less and less about this. Sorry, I'm kind of confused. Oh, sorry, but the same problem lies. Like, that person accused me of, like, being anti-Semitic for talking about fake anti-Semitism scandals. This has 6,000 likes, and let's watch apparently what's the anti-Semitic incident.
The people behind me marched up to the gates of St. John's Wood Synagogue this evening. They unfurled a banner. They had told their supporters to make sure that they looked, quote, visibly Jewish. And because of them, a synagogue which has had services all day, including children's education, has essentially been placed behind a wall of police. What you can't see is...
This guy is such a fucking joker. This guy is such... I saw this guy, by the way. I've told people this before. Part of the reason that I'm, like, so, like, geeked out about these fake anti-Semitism scandals is because I saw this guy I saw this guy in London. He was, and it was at the march where he claimed he wasn't allowed to walk around for being visibly Jewish. He walked to the end of the pro-Palestine march. No one recognized him. Even my friend who works in the media didn't recognize this guy. I looked at him And I was like, that's Gideon Falter. I was like, who is that guy? Who is that guy? And then I remembered his name, and I was like, holy shit. And my friend nearly interviewed him. And if he interviewed this guy, what he would have found out and proven categorically is that his story was entirely made up. He wouldn't have even had a day's play with this shit, because this guy was like wandering around the march, and he got to the end of it without problems, and then he aggravated a police officer by pushing into him and being like, oh, I should be allowed to walk across the street. And they were like, no, don't walk straight across a march, it's gonna cause issues, there are huge amounts of people. And he was like, I am not even allowed to be Jewish in 2025's London.
The streets left and right, all of the way behind me, all of the way to the synagogue, which we're now out of eyeshot from and out of earshot from, are filled with police vans, hundreds of police officers, because this security presence is needed apparently for Jews to go about their normal business, going to a synagogue in Britain, in the streets of London today. St John's Wood, normally a very quiet residential area, now swarming with police because of the people behind me. And what have they been doing? What do they want the right to do? They wanted to march up to a synagogue, a place where people come together to pray, a community centre, and they wanted to chant what they've been chanting behind me, chants for the state of Israel to be extinguished, to be destroyed, chants for Judaism to be, quote, liberated from Zionism.
Brilliant stuff. These are good chants. These are good chants. Judaism should be liberated from Zionism. Jewish people should not be associated with the actions of a violent settler colonial state. It's objectively a good thing.
These people absolutely have no red lines. And for the Jewish community, which is still reeling from the deaths of Jews, the murder of Jews at synagogue on Yom Kippur in Manchester, we are sick and tired of it. And for the British people are also sick and tired of it, because this is a conflict thousands of miles away, and these people behind me have done nothing at all for the conflict thousands of miles away.
This is so pathetic as well. This is one of the most pathetic excuses that I've ever heard. This guy is the biggest creator of fake anti-Semitism scandals in the United Kingdom. By the way, he is the he's also a key figure in. I'll just double check this right now. Gideon Falter is the vice chairman of the Jewish National Fund, which is an organization that has been buying up land in Israel for decades and banning Palestinians from working on it. He is a key vehicle of colonizing Palestine. And he sits there and goes, there's a conflict thousands of miles away and us Jews are tired about this.
All that they are doing is they are intimidating a Jewish community in London, a synagogue that now finds itself behind a wall of police. It's absolutely outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. A red line has been crossed yet again here in Britain.
It's amazing, and thousands of people believe this. Thousands and thousands of people believe this. A guy who literally works for an organization that is helping the colonization of Palestine, and then goes, there's a conflict thousands of miles away. And by the way, the people here who are protesting are predominantly Jewish, by the way.
We're very grateful to the police for putting in place the exclusion zone that has removed these people from the synagogue gates. But what an absolute disgrace and travesty that these people, this is their method now, going to synagogues, telling their protesters to look, quote, visibly Jewish, and demonstrating as families and children gather inside.
It's just fake. It is entirely fake. This has nothing to do with fighting anti-Semitism at all. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Not a single thing to do with this.
That didn't that amount.
I'm just checking if we've got any news organisations commenting on this.
For booze Adolf Hitler, you could potentially put them in
20 years in journalism.
With its edit of pension, particularly though.
And is patron of the Forward Trust.
Really interesting.
Yeah, what the process feel is, one of them is that.
Like, look at this. This is now put on a news channel in the UK. Do you see why I'm, like, so serious about this being dangerous?
Good morning. Absolutely shocking events that took place here yesterday. And, of course, GB News was on the ground almost immediately in the aftermath.
Oh, wait, no. This isn't it. This isn't it. I clicked on a video and it's not pulled it up. Wait, what? What the fuck? I clicked on the video and then it changed the name of the title. That's really weird. That is really strange. I don't know what just happened there. It's deeply offensive, blah, 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 blah. But no doubt it'll be on a ton of these news outlets and they'll all claim, oh, it's anti-Semitic, Jews were attacked for no reason, and blah, blah, blah. But it's just not true. Like, it is categorically not true. Look at what this organization does, by the way. Our national broadcaster has become an international embarrassment. BBC spokespeople for terrorists. This is an organization that literally did not stream South Africa's condemnation of Israel. The ICJ, but just chose to stream Israel's defense. And this is what it does. Look at this. The targeting of a synagogue today by pro-Palestine activists who protested outside a North London shul and projected offensive slogans onto the building demonstrates the total failure of policing policy. It is actually kind of like the way that Ethan Klein behaves. Totally ignores what's actually going on. And then in favor of dealing with it is just like, yeah, actually it was anti-Semitism. How is this an offensive language? Stolen land sold here. Not only have police chiefs abysmally failed to combat anti-Semitism over the past 2 years and midwifed an explosion of extremism in our country, but they cannot even protect Jewish institutions in a Jewish neighborhood from the mob. These extremists were doubtless emboldened by events across the pond, where a New York synagogue was also targeted with the blessing of the mayor-elect. Perhaps Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, will take this opportunity to distinguish himself from Zoran Mamdani and condemn the events today in the strongest terms. British Jews know by now that they're expecting action from our politicians and police chiefs is pretty pointless, but here and there, maybe they can say the right thing at least. Are you kidding me? They are literally constantly capitulating to the Zionist lobby. Like, I'm sorry, this is just unbelievable. And you have, like, even sitting politicians talking about this. And this guy just going, a line was crossed about a conflict thousands of miles away. And this is the most awful thing happening ever. This is the worst thing ever. This is hate. So hateful to us. We're so poor. And I'm Gideon Falter. So this is the actual event that was being held. Ishai Rebo live acoustic concert. I mean, who Ishai Rebo is, I've no idea. Who is Ishai Rebo? I don't really know who this guy is. But anyway, there doesn't seem to be much about him online. But if you want to go see the live acoustic concert and a special fair with Aliyah experts, Aliyah means moving to Israel, inspiring talks and fun activities for children, join us for an unforgettable evening of music and unity. If the problem, theoretically, with, say, people doing ISIS recruitment in terms of our country's laws is surely that they are violating international law and they go to commit crimes, right, against innocent civilians. This is literally the World Zionist Organization promoting Jewish people to go and do that. Aliyah Day, London 2025, 1 to 6 p.m, free entry. I mean, who is going to this? But yeah, like, the UK government should be banning this. They are actually objectively right. Yeah, no protests. We shouldn't be having protests against this because it should be the basic job of the government of the United Kingdom to do this. To prevent this kind of stuff going on. And it's why I think that the two-state is complete and utter bullshit. Because we have these governments that pay platitudes to it and then don't do anything about it. Like, we literally have a sitting MP, Priti Patel. The Jewish community in London must be able to attend their synagogues for events and prayers without fear. Like, this is kind of why Mamdani's statement is disappointing. Like, although he at least adds, oh, it's, you know, they're violating international law, which is an important thing to talk about. This isn't about Jewish people being able to attend synagogue free from fear. It is specifically about don't host events where you auction off Palestinian genocide. Palestinian land, and tell people to go over there. Like, theoretically, they're not auctioning it off, but they're encouraging people to literally go to Israel. And then you get this weepy fuck, like this guy who claims that he is like the biggest victim of anti-Semitism in the world whilst working for the Jewish National Fund. It is the most insane shit imaginable that these fake anti-Semitism scandals are still allowed to go on. That they haven't just said, right, these organizations like Campaign Against Anti-Semitism are not legitimate charities. They are just pro-Israel organizations. So the World Zionist Organization is, I don't know why the World Zionist Organization is not letting me go on it. Maybe it will now. Okay, so this is the World Zionist Organization. It's just a picture of Theodore Herzl there. So its partners are Zionist federations. No, we want to go for Zionist Congress, Zionist General Council, the Comptroller Office. Units and representations. Where is it? Central Zionist Archives. Where am I looking for on this? About us. Oh, there was something on here that I'd found earlier that I wanted to, I don't know why I'm now struggling to find this. Unison, Mount Herzl, blah, 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 blah. The World Zionist Organization, I'll just find what I found. Have they removed it from their website? Division. World Zionist Organization. Why is it not letting me on this? Oh, no. Here we go. Right. I don't know why I couldn't find it and why I was struggling to find this. Homepage. This is on their website's homepage. The Settlement Division. The main purpose of the... Hold on. The main purpose of the Settlement Division is to strengthen the periphery of the State of Israel by establishing rural settlements, with everything needed for their success. To accomplish this, the division works to develop regional elements that will serve the localities and assist in the creation of settlement areas with a solid socio-economic base. And here's just a photo of said settlements. Like, this is insane. That this is framed as an anti-Semitic incident. I am tired of this. It is so utterly ridiculous that these are considered like reasonable charities and reasonable, normal individuals to be to be like commenting. You can literally fund the Settlement Division. Like, I can literally give money right here to the Settlement Division. Listen to this. Which includes the Northern Region, Golan Regional Council, and the Regional Central Region Councils, the Galilee, which includes Megillot, Jordan Valley, Mata Binyamin, Gush Etzion, and Samaria, the Southern Regional Councils, which includes the additional councils in the Negev, Arava, the South Hebron Mountain Regional Council, and the Lachish Regional Council. This is just like an organization to go and settle Palestinian land. This is literally against our government's policy. They say that part of the problem with Hamas is how that they won't accept the two-state solution. And I can go on this organization's website and literally find out about how I should be allowed to, you know, go and be allowed to, like, go to Israel and settle there. Like, yeah. Look at this. Met police in fresh two-tier row after failing to stop pro-Palestine mob descending on London synagogue. The government needs to take a really hard stance against this. Shame that thing no longer exists in Trump's world. The two-state solution never existed is the issue with Palestine and this. Like, yeah, like, look at this. This is just like... We had to do the job of the police, says group that rushed to protect London shul from Gaza mob. Shul. The group that rushed to protect St. John's Wood Synagogue on Sunday afternoon from a Gaza mob has told the Jewish Chronicle that since the police could no longer be relied upon, we are going to do their job for them. It is utterly ridiculous. Chants of baby killers, Zio, stay at home, and Israel is a terrorist state. Stop the Hate condemned the police response and said in a statement, once again, Jewish community activists were left to put pressure on the police to enforce their own rules. It is so insane. And this is like apparently a reasonable organization that we should be listening to about anti-Semitism in the United Kingdom. Yeah, exactly. And this is like the big... Someone said valid military targets. Exactly. If you genuinely think settlers are valid military targets, then you need to reckon with the fact that so much of these anti-Semitism scandals, both in the US and the UK, of course anti-Semitism exists and there are worrying facets of the rise of it. But I think like the main issue is that these people are like just continually not dealing with it. Our politicians are ostensibly left-wing politicians as well, take nothing of a stand on this issue and will not unequivocally come out and say, hey, actually a lot of this hysteria over hate marches isn't true. It's very obvious that the problem lies with what Israel is doing and its behavior and treatment of Palestinian people, if you know what I mean. And it's just like, we have to sit here and listen to this over and over again. They basically do what they did, but now they use the online market to sell land they don't own. And also, by the way, it's funny as well, because apparently Madison, Cruel World, Happy Mind, is the most anti-Semitic monster in the entire world for saying young Jewish people are influenced to support Israel. But, like, the fact is that that's literally what that organization is doing. And the level of extremity as well amongst significant figures within this movement, people like Melanie Phillips, has to be listened to be believed.
The world has been made to believe that peace and justice in the Middle East hinge on the Palestinians getting a state of their own. Justice for the Palestinians has been deemed to be the issue that drives all before it. By apparently denying that happy outcome, the state of Israel has come to be perceived as the enemy of humanity itself. This is the big lie that we are all up against. But the Jewish world has never identified this big lie as such and has never fought it. It has never told the world the truth. There is no such thing as Palestine. There is no such thing as the Palestinian people.
Like, this is the kind of person who is treated as like a reasonable voice and has been welcomed on Question Time. Listen to this. Israel is the Gideon Falter of the world. Just like the campaigner, the Jewish state is victim blamed. And by the way, if you don't know what I mean about a fake anti-Semitism scandal, when we saw Gideon Falter was like, I'd just been to synagogue. He was literally with this guy. And I'm not saying black Jewish people don't exist, but why was he with this guy? Because the guy was very obviously a bodyguard.
The Jewish world has never told the rest of the world that the indigenous people of the land of so-called Palestine are the Jews, that the Jews are the only people who have any entitlement to any of this land, an entitlement based in law, in history and morality, and they are the only people who have an entitlement to all of it. The Jewish world has never said that.
It's just crazy. Like, this woman is so crazy, and she's like apparently like a reasonable voice to be listening to. Like, that's not even the half of this woman. She is crazy.
Well, I think that the Palestine cause is absolutely... Why is all this happening? Well, I think that the Palestine cause is absolutely central. The Palestine cause, as we all know here, is based on nothing other than the destruction of the Jewish state.
The Zionist cause is actually premised on the destruction of the Palestinian people. That's all they have to do.
But more than that, it is also based on stealing the Jews' own history in the land from them. But the Palestine cause has become the cause of causes in the West, which of course is in the business of destroying its own core values which come from Judaism. No coincidence. In my view, the Palestine cause is a form of holy war, Islamic holy war, and it is a Trojan horse for the Islamization of the West. By adopting the language and the moral inversion of the Palestine cause, the West has bought into the agenda for its own destruction at the hands of Islam.
This woman is deranged. This woman is deranged. And this is, by the way, someone treated as a reasonable voice within the pro-Israel movement.
This is a death wish by the West. And if you have a death wish, you cannot fight a death cult, which is what the West is facing in the forces of Islam. It cannot fight it because it no longer knows what it is. The West no longer has the will to defend itself because it no longer knows what that means. And insofar as it ever knew what it means, it has tried to destroy it by telling itself that the West is to be hated. This has created a vacuum into which has marched the Islamists to conquer the West because the West is paralyzed.
This woman was welcomed on Question Time a year ago.
In a week where
Tragedy. War. I come here a great deal. I am British. I will always be British. And it is a tragedy beyond measure.
If you could, and this is what I mean when I say, you would never be on BBC if you were like, I think there's a Jewish takeover, that Jewish people are a Trojan horse destroying Western society from the inside, because everyone would be able to make the connection with Hitler's language and his claims about Jewish people. But when it comes to Islam and Palestinians, you can say whatever you want and you will be on the BBC.
That so many decent people, well-meaning people in Britain, have got this completely the wrong way around. What's happening in Gaza is indeed a tragedy. War is terrible. Civilians are killed. But what Stephen has just said is so distorted and so untrue. Let me just take you through one or two points that he has said.
That's good.
He says that the Gazans are being denied by Israel access to food and humanitarian supplies.
Yes.
This is completely untrue.
Like, how is this treated like a reasonable opinion to be giving to the public? Like, this is just lies. This is just straight up lies.
There have been hundreds and hundreds of trucks going through Gaza. There have been hundreds of trucks stopped by from going through Gaza because the food is being stolen by Hamas. The Gazans themselves are saying this. You laugh because you don't know. I am telling you.
This woman is like sick. This person is sick. And these people are given platforms. And they are treated like reasonable individuals. Fake anti-Semitism after fake anti-Semitism scandal leads to hatred towards human beings and danger. It has fueled the rise of the far right. It undeniably has. By giving credence to this idea that every single thing related to Palestine is a hate march is awful. It is awful, odious, and disgusting. And that is also, by the way, one of the greatest crimes of Ethan Klein, constantly blaming everything and claiming that everyone doesn't like him because of anti-Semitism, when he himself has admitted multiple times that he has done things that are unacceptable and immoral and unjust.
Melanie, in fairness, the UN says that not enough trucks are being allowed in and that children are dying of starvation. You've got UNICEF saying children are dying of starvation.
The UN has had its own operatives in UNRWA, the Relief and Welfare Organization, who are members of Hamas, dozens and dozens of them. They are entirely compromised.
OK, so just, Melanie, I'll let you speak, I promise, but just to be clear what you're saying, when you've got the WHO and the UN and the EU humanitarian chiefs saying there is famine in Gaza, you're saying That's not true.
You can
Is that what you're claiming?
you can go on YouTube and see pictures of the stocked food markets in Gaza. Why are you
By the way, the level of Israeli propaganda as well. Go on YouTube and see something and that means everything must be true. It's like, why would you deceive yourself on the basis of looking at a video rather than confronting everything about what Israel is actually like? Like, why would you not listen to experts? Why would you just go, yeah, the UN is Hamas?
Have you seen
outrageous.
Have you
Why they're
seen
laughing?
them?
Actually,
have you seen these
Melanie,
video pictures?
I have looked at some of them. They don't have timestamps on them. I've got to point that out. So I don't know when these pictures were taken.
Okay.
I mean, if you have...
And also, by the way, like when DW did its investigation into this, no country committing starvation or not committing starvation is paying for targeted ads in specific countries to manipulate political opinion on that subject to ensure that like people who are susceptible to the ideas that she is spewing are targeted specifically with them. That is not the actions of a country not doing famine, not engaging in forced starvation.
Proof that they were taken in the last October?
If you want to look at pictures, Melanie, I'm quite happy to send you some pictures and videos of civilians being bombed and slaughtered at the hands of...
I also just don't think that a lot of these like older Zionist people realize that the world they knew where these lies worked, it's not coming back. It's not. This is Gaza City today. These images will be seared into the mind forever. And as much as their little celebratory freaks might love them, it will never change what's going on. Not what a war looks like. It is categorically not what a war looks like. This is a concerted effort to destroy social life. This is a concerted effort to wipe away history and culture and force voluntary emigration. The level of destruction in terms of the percentage of buildings destroyed is higher than Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There are just people who justify this. This is what genocide looks like. Categorically, this is what genocide looks like. Just the complete attempt at erasing the Palestinian people. Someone mentioned her on Question Time years ago.
I believe one can negotiate with Russia. I don't believe one can negotiate with Assad. I don't believe one can negotiate with Iran.
Can one do anything?
I believe that the key to this, if we're going to do anything, we should have our eye fixed on where our interests lie.
How is she not aged in like 10 plus years? That's crazy. She doesn't look any different.
And where our interests lie, as the West's interests lie, is in neutralizing Iran. We have allowed Iran the time over many years.
It's also, by the way, in terms of these ceasefires, it is so incredibly obvious that the problem lies with Israel. That Israel is the one who continually violates these ceasefires. That Israel is the problem.
This farce of talking to people who cannot be talked to pursue its pursuit, to continue with its pursuit of a nuclear bomb with which it intends, it says, to commit genocide against Israel, a state which is declared for the last 25 years war against us. That is the problem. That is the problem, the defeatism of the British people against a clear threat to this country's interests.
She is mental. There's also Russell Brand there and Boris Johnson.
I was with you. I was with you all the way. I was with you all the way until you said we've got to neutralise Iran, and then
You laugh. Neutralise Iran. The British audience laughs. How trivial of you. How incredibly ignorant of you. Do you not understand what a threat this country is to us?
Do we not understand what a threat Israel is? The amount of legitimacy that it has lost us? It is truly unbelievable. Like, even from an American conservative position, you are seeing the problem, which you are not going to fix with this kind of crap. This kind of crap that you have spewed about Palestine, and you have never ever fixed anything. Your disgusting ideology will never bring peace or a decent life to people.
No, you don't.
All right, Melanie,
Paranoia. Paranoia.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait a minute. All right. Who said paranoia? Because maybe you want to comment on what, maybe enlarge on what you said, and then I come to Ed Davey. You don't want to speak? No.
Yes, I do.
You do. Go on then.
I agree with Melanie Phillips in that it is turning into a proxy war between America on one hand and Iran on the other. Excuse me. But I have to say as well, why does she always have to bring it back to Iran and we can't negotiate it with Iran and Israel?
Because it's the most
dangerous.
It's
very irrational.
How is it? Why is it irrational?
Why can we not deal with Iran?
Why is it irrational?
Where's your evidence that we cannot deal with Iran?
The evidence is, if you know
where's your evidence that Syria was supplying
let her answer your question.
I'll tell you why it's not.
Literally, we have never ever been able to deal with Israel on a two-state solution. Like, let's be frank, Israel has never been that interested in it. Israel has never been interested in upholding the basic, even like minimal international law that we demand of them.
Rational to think you can negotiate with Iran, because Iran is currently run by people who believe, as a matter of religious belief, that if they bring about the apocalypse, if they bring about literally the end of the world...
They have never said that. That's
would you let me perhaps speak,
false.
or is it entirely rational to stop somebody from speaking?
Sorry, go ahead.
They believe that if they bring about the apocalypse, they will bring to earth the Shia Messiah. That's the people you're dealing with.
There are also a considerable number of Israelis who believe this. Like, a considerable number of Israelis who don't believe the same thing, but very, very similar things.
Iranian does not believe that.
All right,
I'm afraid you are simply
all right, the two of you can meet up afterwards. I'm going to... now, hold on, Boris. I want to bring Ed Davey in. Melanie Phillips said that the Prime Minister made a mess of the G8.
Why hasn't anyone aged? Ed Davey doesn't look any older.
Well, in effect, by encouraging Obama to send forces into Syria.
Let me come to that, but I do just want to say your comments, Melanie, on Iran couldn't have been more poorly timed. There's just been an election in Iran.
Amazing things are happening. When was that? This is her brilliant commentary. The left is racist. Israel wants to make this the last war. An honest conversation, Israel and Palestine.
The fundamental narrative about Israel, essentially, is that as a compensation for the Holocaust, the Jews were given a piece of someone else's land in the Middle East, where they've settled, and now there is a battle over that piece of land because of that original sin, if you like, which is a viewpoint that, frankly, up until I started listening to some of your talks, it was unshakable in my understanding. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't know, I honestly don't know enough about it.
That's the default narrative.
Yeah. So, in what way is that not the case, Melanie?
Every single thing that you just said is untrue.
Most of your conversations.
That'll make him happy for a change.
Obviously, it's a big subject, but the idea that the Jews had no connection to the land of Israel until a guilt-ridden West took them out as a remnant of the Holocaust and stuck them into someone else's country is the opposite of the truth.
So what is the truth?
The Jews are the only people for whom the land of Israel was ever their national kingdom, hundreds and hundreds of years before Islam was even invented and before the Arabs invaded. The Jews were the original nation upon which America and Britain, in a kind of mystical fashion in Britain, modeled themselves. Why do I say that? They were a nation because they were a people in a particular area of land which they governed according to laws they made.
Amazing. I'm not listening to more of this idiot. I'm not listening to any more of this idiot. But this is like just, we'll listen to Bill Maher. This is just like the level of people talking about Palestine who are given credibility and are portrayed as like great people and great thoughts and voices who still have platforms to do this.
About Islam,
well,
which is another reason why the left hates me.
See?
Because, you know, they're on the page of America, cringe, Hamas, awesome.
It's wild.
And, like, I am not there. That's the one thing that, like, I am 100% full on is the Middle East thing.
Yeah.
Like, just, first of all, just backing Israel. Like, let's not pretend that all cultures, although they're different, they're the same. No, Israel is our culture. We value life. We give women full rights, stuff like that.
Israel is most definitely our culture, by the way. Like, he's not actually wrong about that. Israel is categorically our culture in the sense of Israel is a European-style settler colony set up in the Middle East that through practicing settler colonialism would become British.
We're going to go with the culture that we recognize and we think is the right one. You do you.
Yeah.
And then just the way he supported Israel's solving of the problem that they were slowly being surrounded by proxies of Iran. And just like Michael Corleone in the last reel of The Godfather, he took out all the enemies. They've settled all family business. Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis and then Iran itself. We're going to do this.
I don't know how Godfather ends. I mean, I know what he's talking about. Settles all the family business, but there's two more films, isn't there, in terms of things going on, in terms of things that go on. But like when it comes to these people, when it comes to like people like Bill Maher who think that this is the end, you are so stupid. Human beings will move towards the trajectory of like a decent and good life, and that's what upsets them. My God, actually, let's listen to this. She's talking about mowing the lawn here.
Spirit abroad in Israel, which people have not seen before, a spirit among younger people. They will not be diverted from defeating the enemy. It is no longer enough simply to what was called mowing the lawn, to keep the enemy down on the basis that they're always going to be there and we're always going to fight them. No, enough. We will now fight to defeat the enemy because we know that only defeating the enemy is what we should be doing.
But also, you should probably realize that this woman considers all Palestinians as fake. Anyone who expresses Palestinian nationalism as someone who is made up, who is unreal, who is an enemy of the Jewish people. She probably wants them all expelled. Like, she'll never admit it, but she probably wants exactly that.
And there's been a realization. There's been a realization that this idea of mowing the lawn, this idea of not going too far, this idea of doing what the world expects us to do, that is galut mentality. That is diaspora mentality. That is trying to please and appease the world. But the world we now understand from what we've been living through and are still living through. The world cannot be appeased. It has to be fought. It has been described.
I just want to read you the words of Kahana. It is the time for the Jew in Israel to throw away those negative attitudes that he retains from the Galut, the exile. Chief among those is a willingness to look at the bitter reality. We may not enjoy hearing it. Hold on, you probably can't see this. Bitter reality. We may not enjoy hearing it, but the truth is there will not be a sincere de jure peace with the Arabs. It is against this enemy that we must struggle, a struggle for Jewish existence and a Jewish state that will never cease to be a struggle, a realization that between us and the Arabs stands a massive barrier that may never be breached, a determination by two people to live in a land that at least one will never compromise on. The Arabs intend to wipe us out. We must be strong enough to stop them. It is amazing that now, like, the words and thought of Kahana are just openly stated by British Jewish commentators.
And I think most wonderfully, as a move from Talmud to Tanakh, by which I mean this, the Talmud, that collection of rabbinical ordinances which justifiably can be said to have kept the Jewish people alive since their exile from the land of Israel, is very much a diaspora mentality. It is a mentality which looks inward, which says we are up against a world which hates us, we have to protect ourselves. The Tanakh is full of stories of the Jewish people of antiquity fighting real battles, killing real people in defense of their nation and their people and their faith. And that is what has to be done. And I see that what we are seeing now in this war that has been fought is the resurrection of the Tanakh Jew, the return of the heroic Davidic warrior.
By the way, that is literally Kahana talk. This woman is probably a Kahanist. She would never admit it, but that is Israeli Hitler. Like, Kahana is just Israeli Hitler. Kahana's beliefs are really not that distant from Hitler's. Like, if you read Kahana's work, they are, and listen to him speak, it is basically just Hitler. Like, listen to this woman. Here is someone who believes that the defense of a people against extermination is eliminationist. We can therefore see just who she wants to eliminate. How many young people have had their minds poisoned by this professor's nasty, hateful, post-colonial rage? Like, this woman is an extremist.
I think that the Palestine...
She just sits responding to people calling her an extremist. She is a monstrous extremist. And the fact that there are people like this who are just out there in the world is terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. Hello, Sophie. Hello, everyone. Crazy stuff. Alright, guys, I'm gonna go pee because then we have Overzealots calling in very shortly. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Overzealots will be calling in the next 5 or so minutes. I just want to stick on some music whilst I go pee.
Intifada, 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 intifada. Intifada, intifada, intifada. بالمولوتوف بالحجارة أصنع دولتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة أصنع دولتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة تسمو طفولتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة تكبر قوتي تكبر 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 قوتي تكبر تكبر قوتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة أصنع ثورتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة أصنع دولتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة تزهو طفولتي بالمولوتوف بالحجارة تكبر قوتي تكبر 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 قوتي تكبر 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 قوتي يا شهداء الانتفاضة يا بنات المجد يا شهداء الانتفاضة يا بنات المجد سطرتم ملاحم البطولة رفعتم رايات الحرية سطرتم ملاحم البطولة رفعتم رايات الحرية.
Why do I look so bright all of a sudden? Why is my camera doing that? I don't know. Right, okay. So Isaac's going to call in really shortly. So I'll get up. I'll kind of get it set up. Hold on. Wanna set up now? Looking extra pale, King. Yeah, I look very, very white. Gates of Heaven. Oh, and intellectual integrity. Hi. Yay, Overzealots time. Indeed, Overzealots time. I'm way behind in seeing Maduro dance to We Are Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I know, it's a powerful symbol, powerful image of our time. Okay, right, Overzealots is sending over that link. And then I'm just going to have to turn off my camera, so you're going to have no screen for a second once he sends over the link, but I'm fine for a second. No, there'll be video for the podcast. We're just going to do it via the podcast street. I know several people who just went to the conference in Israel and posted with that new weird photo of Herzl. New sexy tech Herzl. What's the new weird photo of Herzl? You'd have to show me that. But yeah, I mean, the World Zionist Organization is not a good institution. Let's put it that way. Oh, God. Nice, I love seeing you. Yeah, nice, enjoy. Get into a lot of talks lately. I've not finished this talk with Spooky Scary Socialist. I've not seen that either. But yeah, shout out to my guy. Blessed by the lights of Allah. You're like anarchism, socialism, or communism. Well, I'd say if I had to pick, I wouldn't pick anarchism out of those three. Anarchism would be the one I'd dislike the most. Unfortunately, we will be doing politics. Hamas in the US then and now. Crazy. From searching the term intifada. Right. Okay. Copy message link. Now I need to turn off my camera. Deactivate. Save. And then we need to go over here and do that. No, I've accidentally... Hello?
Alright, and then I'm gonna add this.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hold on. I just
you want me to record this on my end, right?
Yeah. I'll stick a recording on. And then I'll move us over, and then I'll stick us full screen. And there we go. Can everyone hear Isaac? That's the only question I've really got. I think that everyone should be able to hear you, but it doesn't look like you're lagging today. I don't know what was causing that the other day.
Yeah, no, you know what? I did a call with another friend 2 days ago, and the same thing happened. I was lagging my audio and my face.
Let's see. Can everyone hear Isaac? They're saying yes. Yes, they can hear you.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, nice. Loud and clear, apparently, which is exciting as always.
I'm setting up all of the tabs because I'm still trying to figure out how to use this.
Yeah, no problem.
Hell yeah. I feel like you today, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. You're doing you're learning how to stream. It's always
I'm
exciting.
doing a Kunzler.
Yeah, you're kunzing out. What was I gonna say? Oh, people are asking if it's gonna be audio and visual. We're gonna do both, right? Was the plans thus far? Yeah.
I guess like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
This is the program that we'll use.
Yeah, 100%. So
all right.
We hear you. Everyone's saying that they hear us. No echo, loud and clear and everything.
Amazing. Oh, there we go. I put like a tablet here so I can see like this Streamlabs like down here. So if I'm looking down here, that's what I'm trying to do.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I feel like Tony Stark right now, dude. These screens. Oh, dude, also congrats on 40K. And congrats on winning an award, dude.
Yeah, I know. Very exciting things are happening in the world of the Chris Kunzler YouTube channel. The award was nice. I met, as I mentioned to you, it was like it was a thing from like the Palestine Forum in Britain, and as I said, it's up there, and it literally looks better than my degree does, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it looks nice as hell.
Yeah, it is nice as hell. It's very fancy. Jarvis pull-up Streamlabs. 50 years, it's going to cost a toll to walk outside your house. And yeah, 40K is great. I mean, how many subs are you on YouTube? Like nearly 200, right?
No, like 150.
Still, I mean, we round up, so I'd say it's nearly 200.
It's a thick roundup.
Yeah. Anything over 150,000 is basically in the same way that once you're over 500,000, you're basically at 1 million followers, you know?
True. That is how numbers work. That is true.
Yeah, 100%. What was I going to say?
All right. And now I got the thing set up so I could share videos for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good to go.
Right. Fantastic. Do you want to show it then? Just start sharing the screen.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So we're going to cover, what's her name? I've forgotten her name. Sarah. How have I forgotten
hell
her name?
yeah. Hurwitz,
that's it. Yeah. We're going to be covering Sarah Hurwitz, Obama's former speechwriter, and talking
the legend.
Yeah. Talking about her brilliant commentary on Palestine. I know we did a bit of this the other day, but she's constantly producing ever more bangers.
Yeah. Which one do you want me to play first? These are honestly
you can choose. There are some amazing ones in there, and when you pause, we'll feel like just
Should I get the main one, like the first one where she said?
Yeah. Let's start with the first one because it's quality content.
Is that the one? I'm trying to find where that is though. Can you like resend it in the Discord?
The main one.
Yeah. Oh wait, Sarah. Oh wait.
Have you got it, or do you want me to get it?
This is not the original one. No, I can't find it.
No problem. I'll find it.
I'm loading them all up though. That one.
Oh, fuck.
Bad smart modes.
I found the original. Hold on.
All right, cool. Just send it in the Discord. I got the rest of them all lined up.
That's the original.
Okay, amazing.
I think she was Barry and Michelle. She was also, she was definitely Michelle's. I also heard she wrote for Clinton as well, Hillary. I don't know who you meant by Barry.
Oh, wow, that checks out.
Yeah, so here she is. Here's the original. Just feel free to...
Hold on. Yeah, and you can hear it all right?
Yeah, let's play it and see whether they can hear it.
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media. And this, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream. It generally didn't express extreme anti-Israel views. You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium. Right?
Yeah.
It is shaped.
I think it might need to be turned up is the only thing. But like, Jesus Christ, oh, wait, it can't be turned up. Okay, right, so the problem might be on here for me. Hold on 1 second. I'll just fix that. Just listening to her is like, it's a truly unbelievable thing that what she's talking about.
The really weird bookstore is a funny part too, because I mean, like, she's not entirely wrong. Like, you would have to go to maybe like a niche bookstore, like maybe like a leftist bookstore or whatever. But it's just funny that she would characterize that as like a very weird bookstore.
But even then, it's still like, most people would, like, most bookstores would have been carrying books about, like, the Middle East and Palestine from, like, leftist perspectives. Even mainstream ones that carry it in the UK now have not, they didn't just start, like, carrying it now. And someone said, what the fuck is global media? Like, what does she mean by global media? Just learning about the rest of our world. She wants to live in the Vietnam era where the only stuff you could get is, just this American government propaganda. It is truly amazing that she felt comfortable saying this. And kind of even more amazing that she thought that this was like, is a way to address the problems faced by American the American Jewish community.
Mm-hmm.
No one can know anything about what's going on in the world.
You know, she's also a member of the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Council. So she's the Obama speechwriter, and she's on the board there.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is just truly unbelievable. And someone just made this point. You could always find Chomsky books in Barnes and Noble. Yeah, like
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, Chomsky's been like a pretty significant academic, and also you could have probably found other people who were there.
Yeah,
and
well,
also, oh, sorry.
You know, a friend of mine was at Indigo, which is like big no-no, owned by like massive Zionist, and they sell Elon Pape books there. I'm not even joking.
Amazing.
They sent me a picture of his one of his relatively new ones, the very short history of Israel Palestine. That book, it was in the middle of an Indigo.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that just also shows you that there's just a growing appetite to learn about the Middle East, and you can't close Pandora's box. People want to know what's going on there and form their opinions about it. And just people saying, oh, no, you can't do that, and that it's a problem that once upon a time this was in less bookstores is crazy to me. Like, what is wrong with people learning and forming their own opinions? It doesn't really look good for the whole, like, Israel defending cause if the prerequisite of it is that you just don't know anything about Palestine.
But it also kind of implies that, like, up until this point, there might have been like a concerted effort to keep those books hidden, or you know, in the realm of like what she calls weird bookstores. Which I mean, it just kind of shows that like the lid is being blown off the operation. There's just not really any going back now.
Yeah, 100%. Like, as I say, you cannot close Pandora's box. It's not possible. It's not a thing that's going to happen. And sitting there and pretending that you will is just so stupid. Because and it also just isn't going to address the problems that like, you know, the pro-Israel movement is facing.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. The amount of legitimacy that it has lost is irredeemable. It will never come back.
Of course, and like the answer to that is not just banning more books and preventing people from learning anything about it. The answer is, well, there isn't really an answer, especially among like young American right-wingers. Like, what do you even do? Deport more brown people and say it's because of Israel? Is that really going to reinforce or solve the problems that American right-wingers have with Israel? Because somehow I don't think it will, because it's not like they're the ones protesting. It's more like they're the ones being groypers on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. I just, that's something that we'll probably get into when we talk more about this lady. But there's like, Zionists have a skill at feeding into anti-Semitic tropes the way like an actual anti-Semite would. And we'll get into that later when she talks about like the Hollywood thing. But it's just incredible. Like she has a knack for feeding into these tropes.
So she was the speechwriter for Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, and Barack Obama. She
amazing.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. John Kerry.
Yeah, feel free to restart it. Oh.
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media. And this, you know, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream. You know, it generally didn't express extreme anti-Israel views. You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium, right? It is shaped, its algorithms are shaped by billions of people worldwide who don't really love Jews. And
That's wow. I mean, it just seems like the democratization of media is something that's going to, you know, bite these people in the ass, because you can't keep an ethno-supremacist project under wraps forever. Eventually things will blow over. And
that's like the main thing that, like, whenever I talk to people who are so confident in Israel's military prowess and are like, Israel is doing epic, amazing things and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like, what do you even say to this? Because you're You're not going to stop people thinking about Palestine. What you're going to do, ban Al Jazeera, ban everyone. That is only going to increase people's interest in the topic. The only way to deal with it is like through a full-on authoritarian crackdown on anyone who speaks out against Israel. But even then, like these states don't really possess the capacity to do it. And all it does is add much more legitimacy to the pro-Palestine movement. Like doing the slow, the slow strangling authoritarianism is much smarter. But like, that's not something that these people want to do. Like this person just wants outright like banning of what the global bookstore.
Yeah, the global medium bookstore.
and also just on the topic of like democratizing media, like social media is somewhat democratized, but realistically, right-wing reactionary content, which gives very simple answers, is always going to be favored by algorithms, right? Like, and if that isn't good enough for like people like this, then where does it end? What you have to sign up and like write a declaration that you love Jewish people. Like that's literally what she said. That the problem is that we all don't love Jewish people enough, and
it's so funny because didn't Netanyahu just like inject millions of dollars into YouTube, and didn't he like mention wanting to purchase TikTok? I'm pretty sure what's his name, Ellison did, right?
Yeah, Larry Ellison has been. I don't know if the purchase has gone through.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but it's just funny to say that these companies, these social media platforms are hotbeds for people who don't like Jews. But it's like, if Ellison is eyeballing TikTok, that would not be someone who, doesn't like Jews owning the platform.
No.
That would be a Zionist owning the platform. And Netanyahu giving how much to YouTube? How much to Google? I can't remember. It was
I
like
don't
in the
even
millions.
know.
So this is just a moot point from the jump.
100%, 100%. Yeah, these aren't really very significant or smart points that she's talking about. But, no. Then, of course, like the Zionist Project's not sending their best. Well, there isn't really a best. Because most most decent authors and writers are just not going to be interested in forever defending Zionism.
Yeah. Let me get going.
So while in the 1990s, a young person probably wasn't going to find Al Jazeera or someone like Nick Fuentes, today, those media outlets...
Al Jazeera and Nick Fuentes in the same breath.
Yeah, I know. At the global bookstore. This is the world that they want to take away from you. The global bookstore that sells Al Jazeera books and Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. I heard Nick Fuentes is actually a writer for Al Jazeera now. Apparently.
Yeah. They're employing him. He's a great guy, according to Al Jazeera.
Today, those media outlets find them. They find them on their phones. It's also this increasingly post-literate media. Less and less text, more and more videos. So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of...
You would know this better than I would, but isn't TikTok like very quick to clamp down on anything they deem
100%, 100,000,000%. One of the ways in which even... Oh, sorry, please, go ahead.
No, go for it.
One of the problems that I always had, and one of the reasons that I felt my account was targeted, is that even amongst big pro-Palestine creators, I remember one time a friend of mine, Isabel, she posted when there were like the passports of the aid workers, and her video got taken down. Her video didn't get taken down. It got hundreds of thousands of views. But whenever I would show like any blood on TikTok, my videos would be taken down. And I'm not saying like it's a preferential treatment or anything, but what I'm saying is that the algorithm was very punishing, and I think it would target, and not to say she's not even a great anti-Zionist voice. She's reached so many people. She's got like 500,000 followers. But the algorithm was so weird at times, and that it was like specific videos that it didn't like gaining traction would be shut down. But yes, specifically, like just the lack of to be so confident to talk about this, and to have written speeches for Obama, and to not have a base level of understanding of how these social media platforms operate is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like not knowing that actually TikTok doesn't show that content. That's actually much more a Twitter X thing. Like it's crazy. It's truly unbelievable.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing over on TikTok because I don't use it that much, but I hear you're a pretty good TikTok dancer.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing. They've had to censor
Little
it,
Birdie
mate.
told me.
Yeah. They've been censoring it.
They told me that you're throwing it back too hard. They had to clamp down.
Yeah, throwing it back at the cookout, mate.
Yeah.
Carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage. and I sound obscene. And, you know, I think, unfortunately...
You kind of think at a certain point you take a look in the mirror and just say, if I'm sounding obscene to all these young people who are actually engaging with this social media that I don't engage with, that maybe I might be the problem, that maybe my views are outdated and the world that I'm trying to cling to isn't working anymore. Maybe, just maybe. But of course, no, she'd just rather not deal with that and would rather live in this fantasy world that won't even save Israel in the way she wants it to, you know?
No, she's doing the meme. You know the meme where someone's like in the pool and like that person peed and everyone else is pointing at them?
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
that person's conception is that everybody else peed and they're, you know?
Yeah.
That's what she's doing right now. Wow.
A very smart, I think, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education. In this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit because, you know, Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-Black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless Black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
Dude, you know what? I know this lady says that she's like, what, like a liberal Zionist or whatever. This is Kahanist shit. This is literally never again Kahanist shit.
100%. Like, just feeling confident in saying that. And it's like, I think I've mentioned this, and I definitely mentioned it last time, that it was said in 2018 by the UN, never again has become time and time again. If anything, what was needed after the Holocaust was like a deep look at society of like, oh my God, you reach this kind of like zenith of this genocide in Europe, where it was carried out in like a really meticulous way. Although in many ways, like mass killing a defenseless population is something that has gone on over and over again. And Israel is just using the same techniques as the Nazis, and being upset that people, you know, come to this conclusion is just unbelievable, and saying that that's a bad thing. Like, surely that would be the aim of Holocaust education, to end racism, bigotry, so you know it doesn't happen again.
If that's the first thing I thought like, well, if Holocaust education is convincing specifically young people that murders on the basis of someone's ethnicity, large groups of people being killed for their ethnicity, would that not be the precise goal of Holocaust education, to prevent that, to pick up on these patterns regardless of who the in-group and out-group were? Last time I was here, I mentioned that there's like a really great Shlomo Sand quote pertaining to hyperfixating on the victims of the past, and by consequence of that, becoming blinded to the people who may be calling out for help today. I actually found the quote if you want me to read it.
Yeah, please.
I went through the book. It's really nice, dude. Where is it? I have always avoided wallowing in the invocation of past sufferings, and never dreamed of repairing the misfortunes of yesterday. My own place is among those who try to discern and root out, or at least reduce, the excessive injustices of the here and now. The persecuted and victimized of yesterday seem to me less a matter of priority than the persecuted of today or the victimized of tomorrow. I also know how history serves only too often as an arena in which the roles of hunter and hunted, strong and weak, are shuffled around. If that doesn't wrap up the current moment perfectly, I don't know what would. It's like the most pertinent quote I could think of.
Yeah, and I just think, like, as well, that I was definitely talking about this last time I watched this clip. I think that the craziest part really about everything she's talking about here is that she's basically upset that people would see the Holocaust and its violence as a form of racism, that like what it was it was a political thing of the Nazis who demonized Jewish people, and then anti-Semitism ratcheted up over and over again, that millions of Jewish people were kind of just like, first of all, people were just like being executed in the street, and then they moved it towards like labor and death camps where they just sent millions of Jewish people to kill them. That Nazism didn't just burst out of nowhere, that it tapped into long-standing European anti-Semitism. And in the case of what we're talking about with Palestine and such, what we kind of see is, actually, this didn't just burst onto the scene out of nowhere. That what we see is a trajectory that begins with early Zionist settlers coming and not wanting Palestinians to work on their land eventually, because they're like, no, we need a Jewish state with a Jewish majority. And so if we, have Palestinians there working on it, that won't allow that to happen. And so what's the logical endpoint of that? The elimination of the people who are there?
100%. And that's understood even by Zionist intellectuals on the topic, right? Like Benny Morris, who, I cite a lot for hating the guy, but he said it himself. He said it himself that the Zionist project could not come to be without major displacement of Arab population. The logic, the logic of eliminating Palestinians and the European logic of eliminating European Jewry are siblings.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like, the two are the Zionist project is premised on colonialism. It is premised on transforming Jewish people into Europeans by them going to Palestine and doing settlement there, specifically settler colonialism, and building a state that erases the Palestinian people. And that has culminated over years and years in the biggest bombardment campaign in Gaza that took aim specifically at, Palestinian people.
100%. Yeah.
To just destroy social life, not to destroy Hamas as was claimed. But
No.
Should we move on to one of the next clips now?
Yeah. Tell me which one you want me to play next.
Any, just like any of them. I don't think it really matters the order that we go in, because they are just unbelievable. Someone also said Hurwitz literally only cares about protecting Jewish people, and that in that goal, anything and everything is justified to her criticizing her particularist morality is anti-Semitism. Yes, I tend to agree with you on what you're saying, and I think we both do. Like but what we're saying is that what she's upset about is that Holocaust education has provoked a lot of young Jewish people to see what's going on in Gaza and draw comparisons.
Alrighty. Sorry, I'm just there was something wrong with the thing.
No
All
problem.
right.
It all
Got
looks
it,
okay
got
for
it.
me, but yeah.
Perfect. Alrighty.
Suddenly, like, Jews control Hollywood, right? Because, like, you made us do that. I don't, it's like, I guess I would just gently push back on the idea that Jews have power in America. I think we have tremendous status. I think we have, we've certainly achieved, like, tremendous professional and cultural achievement. We certainly have achieved, wealth and, like, professional success. But I don't necessarily know, we're 2% of the population. So if the majority turned against us, I'm not totally sure what we would do, right? Like I'm thinking about, like, power in very kind of practical ways. We definitely have power in Israel, like, as a state, right? But I don't necessarily think Israel is, like, the most powerful state in the world or all powerful. I think it's often kind of deemed the source of all the world's problems, and kind of, whereas, like, this is a state the size of New Jersey. It's not.
She's doing the New Jersey.
Of course.
She's anytime, bruh.
They
anytime they pull it out.
Yeah, people cannot resist this thing of going, like, Israel is small and therefore all your analysis doesn't make sense. But it's like, also, as I've said before, I don't believe that Israel is, like, the all-powerful state doing everything. But it is certainly the biggest destabilizing influence in the Middle East. Like, just
For
undeniably.
sure, absolutely.
That's what Israel
Absolutely.
is. And you either say it or you don't. And just being like, oh, no. I can't believe people are saying that. I can't believe people feel that way. It's just crazy. The only thing is does she again mention the Hollywood thing? Because is that just like a clip at the start?
I think that might have been a teaser for what's to come.
I certainly think it's important.
Certainly a great teaser.
Oh, yeah.
I'm certainly excited.
This is a state the size of New Jersey. It's not. I know we think it's very important. I certainly think it's important in the scheme of the world's thing. Like, I would probably focus more on, like, China, Russia, Iran. I think the obsession with Israel is it's sort of, it's a reflection of very old historical ideas about Jews. But I think I certainly think you're right. Like, what you're alluding to with, like, there is this trend in history to say there is this disgusting thing, and Jews, you have to do this disgusting thing because you can't do anything else. We're not going to let you do anything else. You're going to do this disgusting thing. And then when you do it, we're going to call you disgusting. So, okay, you can't, Centuries ago, Jews were not allowed to be in guilds. They were barred from many professions, but they were allowed to do money lending, which was considered disgusting. And so they did, and people said you were disgusting money lenders, and they developed skills in finance. And so they became quite accomplished in finance and banking. And we were kind of said like, oh, you guys are disproportionate in finance and banking, right? Because you made us, right? Decades ago in America, Jews were pushed out of the more kind of classy art forms of like theater and publishing and told you guys, there's vaudeville, which is kind of like, crass down market. Like that's the only thing Jews can do. So they're like, okay, I guess we'll do that. And it's like, oh, you're disgusting. But then they developed into Hollywood. And suddenly it's like Jews control Hollywood. Right. Because like you made us do that. I don't, it's like there is something to it.
You know more about this, so do you want to talk about it?
Well, it's like she is what she's saying about Jews being excluded from like professional guilds and being forced to, go into money lending. That's true. Like the thing is, there are like sociological explanations for like what she's talking about, but she's just conceding the point right now that like Jews control Hollywood. She's like, oh yeah, Jews control Hollywood. You made us, but that's not even true. Like there are corporations that own studios and stuff, and there are Jews involved, but like the idea that Jews control Hollywood is not true. These things can be explained sociologically.
Yeah.
She's correct. When it comes to like the nascent movie business, yeah, it was not deemed a respectable industry. Jewish people were I guess I wouldn't say forced, but they gravitated towards it because they couldn't really do anything else. And that did turn into Hollywood. But this is kind of my issue with both Zionists and anti-Semites is they're very careless when it comes to addressing anti-Semitic tropes. And it's like she's saying she's not pushing back to it. What she said was someone is accusing Jews of owning Hollywood, and then she goes, "Yeah, because you made us." But that's not something you should concede. It just isn't true.
Yeah. I mean, like, and also, like, most of the things of, like, what actually matters about, like, domination of Hollywood is much more that Hollywood was just a vehicle for US propaganda and still remains it for, like, militaristic propaganda, And it's like, yeah, Israel definitely factors into that, and you definitely get, like, films that... I love when people talk about this on TikTok. If you're wondering the incredible things, it's like, when, like, a film just goes, like... some random character who's not Jewish goes, I learned Krav Maga in Israel. Or it's like, this guy's epic. He's a soldier from Israel. He's a spy from Israel. But the other funny thing is, and I doubt she'll mention this, but it does actually tap into kind of like understanding Israel in the sense of like, when people are like, Israel controls the world and Israel does all of these like blah, blah, blah. Israel forced America to go to war with Iran. Like when I talk about that, I think like in part America offered Israel an off-ramp because Israel didn't have the capacity to destroy the nuclear sites. And also because Israel wanted regime change in Iran and they didn't get it. And Iran was able to hit Israel pretty hard in certain areas. But what I think is like the thing that I want to talk about here is, have you seen the clip where Olaf Scholz, the German chancellor, is like, yeah, Israel is doing our dirty work in Iran by making Israel into like this, militaristic state that fights America's wars and like, holds and carries out American actions in the Middle East. You are going to convince some people that Israel is like this all-powerful state puppeteering everything. But thus, the way to address that is not to just go, yeah, that's true. It's to say, actually, this is wrong that Israel does these things. It is wrong that there is this European-style nation state in the Middle East, just like carrying out American foreign policy interests and European ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why that's mostly my gripe with her presentation here. Is it's just there's a way to carefully address like the underlying socioeconomic causes for something. So Israel's relevance in the Middle East and usefulness to its Western allies obviously comes in the form of its material reality. So it can, as you said, fight on behalf of or do the bidding of America, Germany, whatever.
Exactly.
That would be that would be a way to describe it in a way where you can understand the material, the economic benefits that Israel can allot its Western allies. And same goes for understanding the prevalence of Jewish people in the nascent film industry at the time. It It was an answer to economic material realities. They weren't allowed in guilds. They weren't allowed in the more professional, respected industries at the time. So you can go about it that way. I just don't like the fact that she conceded on the point that, oh yeah, well, you made us run Hollywood. That's stupid.
I'm starting to develop the feeling that Sarah Hurwitz may not actually care about anti-Semitism or really anything apart from defending Israel. Also, someone corrected me. Yeah, it was Friedrich Merz, wasn't it, who said the thing about Israel doing our dirty work and fighting our wars against Iran. But yeah, like someone said, by the way, couldn't her argument also apply to Hamas and Hezbollah? I get what do you mean as in terms of like people made them do these things and then demonized them for it? Because I actually think that you make a great point there, and something I guess neither of us really thought about in terms of like Hamas and Hezbollah are responses to Israeli occupation and violence in their land.
Of course, 100%. I mean, I'm not much of an idealist. I'm not sure that these grand ideas are what shape our reality. I just think people react to their material conditions, and that's what causes people to adopt, maybe a problematic ideology or whatever it may be.
Yeah, 100%.
I just think it's weird to address what she perceives as Jews running Hollywood with going into a bit of the sociological reasons for that. But then you can't do it at all when it comes to a Palestinian. You can't at all when it comes to a Houthi or a Yemen. That conversation is out of the question.
Yeah, 100%. I really agree with you in what you're saying there. Like just about how, she wouldn't give any like attention as to why Palestinians are the way they are, and like would frame this like grand sort of Middle East where the problems are that young people are against Israel because they've all been attacked by the global bookstore of Nick Fuentes and,
and Al Jazeera. Yeah, they started it together.
Yeah. She's just an amazing lady. Truly.
She's awesome. She's so awesome.
That's a little bit cruel. This idea that like you've succeeded in this thing that we forced you into, and now we are going to condemn you for that. And that I just feel like, yikes. For sure. But look, we are not powerless people, right? We have power in Israel. We have nuclear weapons and an army.
She was Barack Obama's speechwriter. I feel like probably you should have been told, hey, maybe don't mention that Israel has nuclear weapons,
Yeah. Yeah, right. Fuck, man. Oh my God. Let me pull up another one.
Like, obviously people know that, but it's not meant to be true, is it? Like, it's not meant to be publicly known.
No.
That, like, Israel has nuclear weapons, and she's just like...
Well, that's the whole contention with Israel's nuclear program, is they've been just, like, sneaky as hell about it.
Yeah.
All right.
She's really on some amazing stuff, though.
She's on a generational run.
We're kind of entering a post-literate society, and if like all day long your brain is just smashed again and again by TikTok with really upsetting carnage.
Bro, she's so mad at TikTok, but like that's not even the one I would be pissed at. Like if I was like super pro-Israel, I would be more pissed at like Twitter, maybe even Instagram, but like TikTok is...
Yeah, I guess, but the thing is both of like Meta is like arguably one of the most Zionist platforms, but I think the thing that really winds them up about TikTok is that because the audience is so much younger and that there's not really this big demographic of maybe like, I don't know, 40, 50-year-olds, maybe even 30-year-olds, like older people who are like, well, older people than basically Zoomers. I think the problem is she's really scared because like when you look at young people's opinions of Israel, particularly Republicans is the really shocking aspect of it. Like just no one gives a fuck about Israel at all. No one gives a singular shit about Israel. Like, I'm sorry. And I kind of, and like, I mentioned this today, like whatever Israel does, they're never going to be able to do anything to erase what Israel has done. Like
no, there's no coming back, bro. They're cooked. I don't know much about like the landscape on TikTok, so correct me if I'm incorrect. But is the general vibe over there that it's genuinely anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, and not so much like neo-Nazi? Is that kind of the vibe of TikTok?
I mean, the problem
or
with
are there
the problem with TikTok is I think TikTok has a problem with just not banning people who are just outright Nazis. Like, it genuinely does. There's no two ways about it. For some reason, TikTok just has an inability to ban a Nazi. But like, generally, I don't think you have as many accounts who are like just a glory to Nick Fuentes and stuff. I mean, there are people who do it, but they don't have big platforms. And you see it in comment sections, and people do. There's clearly an appeal to a certain extent of like people liking it.
Is it the same as like Instagram? Because I know Instagram, if I go on Instagram Reels, the comments are like, they can get pretty unhinged. Is it the same on TikTok, or is it a little bit better?
It is the same on TikTok to an extent. You have some really crazy shit going on TikTok, but I don't think it's as bad as Instagram Reels. I mean, I know that there's literally a popular account on TikTok, which is just on Instagram, which is just a guy who cosplays as Hitler. Like, that hasn't been banned. I don't know if it's still out there, but he's like some guy from the Middle East who just dresses up as like Hitler. It's like really, really interesting things are happening over there on that platform.
So you're saying that they don't ban Nazis on TikTok, but they're punitive towards pro-Palestinian accounts?
Yeah, I don't think I think if you can check this and verify this for yourself. If you like report someone who's a Nazi, then you know it will be like battered down. It will just be ignored. It will just be ignored. And I think that they're very punishing to Palestinian accounts in terms of the algorithm, and have been increasingly so even before the purchase by Oracle. I think that this has been a problem for a long time. And one of the other ways that they're now punishing people or making it like unviable to become just not possible and hostile to becoming a political content creator is basically by reducing the amount of money that's ever possible to earn. Like, it doesn't seem to be as big a problem on YouTube for like basically, you know, RPM or CPM or whatever it's called. Like, you can't really sustain yourself as a political content creator on TikTok, even with millions of views. If you're talking about Palestine, the platform will punish you. And obviously this disincentivizes people who might have thought, well, maybe I could do like a career out of this and I could talk about politics. It really moves you away from the platform, coupled with like a really punishing algorithm in terms of, I think it operates on the basis of when you have a video pop off about Palestine, that your next few videos are guaranteed to be shadow banned, which is basically what prevents you getting the momentum to push your account further. Like, when I first started, I would get, you know, a bad video when I had like started the platform, was talking about Palestine pre-October the 7th, was like 4,000 views. And now sometimes I get that and it's like, yeah, okay, not every video is a banger, but I've got hundreds of thousands of followers, and you know, you'd expect like some people to see it. But unfortunately, it's not how the platform works. And like, I think I just prefer generally YouTube as like a platform.
Me too.
Like, put frankly,
me too.
And I think that it has.
I don't really like it either.
And I think that YouTube has like an ability to, the kind of thing she complains about here of like post-literate society. Like, obviously there's a lot of slop on this platform and people who just like spew nonsense all the time. But like, also you do have this element of like videos like yours, mine, Bad Empanadas, Noah's, many other people on this platform who make videos and just spam it with sources. Like, not spam it, like put in a reasonable sources where it's needed. And it's like, you know, I think that that's good. And like, calling that post-literate, when if anything, I think many of us are encouraging people, hey, maybe go out and read and do something that's interesting and learn more about this, is actually trying to move us away from being post-literate, if you get me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know what you mean, for sure. That's one of the reasons I like YouTube as well. It's just, I think it's all around like a better platform. I just hate that it's getting a lot of, you know, Zionist money. I keep hearing that whenever like an ad plays on one of my videos, like my anti-Zionist videos, it's like a pro-Israel ad saying, no, Israel's not starving anybody. Here's the food. Look. Yeah, someone said that.
It probably, well, they targeted that specifically in countries where they thought populations were susceptible. So maybe that person is from Germany, Austria, somewhere in Europe, where they thought that it was like... Maybe. Yeah, and someone just put post-literate. What the hell? She loves the term post-literate. She says it.
Yeah, dude, she said it twice.
She loves it. She loves it. She's a real thinker of our time.
Is this a new video? Oh, yeah, it is. Hold on, I'll restart it.
No,
We're kind of entering a post-literate society, and if like all day long your brain is just smashed again and again by TikTok with really upsetting carnage in Gaza, then like you're talking and like, not to, I'm sorry if this is a graphic thing to say, but like when I'm trying to make arguments in favor, you know, for Israel, I realize I'm talking through a wall of dead children. Like that's what people are seeing. So when I'm like, yeah, but it's 1.5
Unhinged.
civilians for,
Wow.
they're just seeing carnage.
But
right?
that's
Like,
the emotional blackmail.
This guy seems great. This guy seems like a great commentator on Palestine. Real nice guy.
Shit.
And it's like,
wow.
It's just, I feel like when you're saying, I'm trying to talk to people through a wall of dead children, once again, you might be the problem. When your argument is, actually, no, there's a 1 to 1.5 civilian to combatant ratio, which isn't true, which is just not true, is it? Like, it's just...
I don't think I've ever seen such compassionate people in my life. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
These are wonderful.
This is who I'd want writing my speeches if I was the woke anti-Israel president. I'm sure of that.
They're just seeing carnage.
But
right?
that's
like,
the emotional blackmail.
I mean, fair enough, but like again, I mean that's nice, but like again, I'm hearing that through a wall of screaming children. It's like I think it's a harder argument than we're understanding. So I actually really strongly think that like Jewish day schools should absolutely say no child owns a smartphone until the senior year. They don't own one at all. Period. We give it to them senior year and we teach them. Like this whole not during the day, great, nice start. No smartphone at all until senior year. Dumb phone, sure. Like, but I think that we've got to like give our kids' brains a chance and their mental health a chance before they start getting really warped.
The smartphones are turning them anti-Israel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not sure people should be having smartphones anyway. Like maybe there's merit to that argument, but on the basis of making you support Israel, crazy.
Yeah, it's just so like my reasoning for maybe not giving my kid a smartphone right away would be, you know, like child predators, seeing things they shouldn't be seeing, not being like anti-Holocaust, bro. Like that's the craziest.
Yeah. No
Don't give
smartphone in case my kid opposes Israel. In case my kid, my 5-year-old child keeps accidentally going on the settler colonialism Wikipedia. I had to set up a block. I call my ISP and I'm like, yeah, you can leave on all the pornography and stuff. Can you just make sure that Overzealots videos are blocked?
Oh my God, dude.
But also, by the way, I just want to note that like already young children who are Jewish are being like told that you have to support Israel, right? Like we know this is not some big secret. Like from a young age, there are schools which teach young Jewish kids you love Israel, love Israel, love Israel. Even some of my friends who went to Christian schools, apparently they, like when I went to school, I had a lady who came in and she just brought in dreidels and shit. And we were loving that, you know. It was like one of those events where it's like a Muslim guy comes in, or a Muslim, well, it was generally Muslim guys, I think. Like a Christian guy comes in, maybe an atheist, and then also like a Jewish person who's like, this is Hanukkah, and you're going to spin a thing around, spin a dreidel. Yeah. But then in the case of, like, my friend, they were just like, yeah, when I was at school, this lady came in and was just like, you are not Jewish, but you have got to support Israel. And it's just like, these kids are like
really?
10. Yeah.
Christian school.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I assume maybe it was just that their school was more Christian than mine. Like, I didn't technically go to one, but we had to, like, sing. Yeah. I mean, in Canada, you're just singing the national anthem every day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas we had to say the Lord's Prayer before we ate every day.
Yeah. So did I, actually.
Did you? No.
Yeah.
I guess that's because you're in BC, right? Like, you know, it's a...
Yeah, I went to, like, a very Catholic school, like lots of Catholic people. I guess because I lived in an area, there was lots of Filipino people and lots of Italian people. So it was just very Catholic upbringing, just people around me. My parents were not, but just my friends, the neighbors, all of that was, yeah.
Well, I mean, probably they should have realized that if they'd banned your smartphone when you were a child, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have gone down the horrible path of making anti-Israel content on the internet.
She's right, dude. I was radicalized by smartphone.
Yeah.
Should have kept my Nokia, bro.
Yeah. Also, the names. Sorry, just quickly. The names of this. The name of this podcast. Being Jewish. Jonah Platt. Who is Jonah Platt?
I saw this clip earlier. He's I'm guessing it's like he's obviously a Zionist himself. He's entertaining this.
I've just searched him. Sorry, and it's come up with Tinder, Grinder, Waze. These are all Jewish. Jonah Platt on Storied. Don't take it out of context. Is Grinder Jewish?
Grinder? I mean, you're asking the wrong. You're asking the wrong guy, man. I don't really know.
Oh my god, I can't believe I've never heard like someone talking about this as like an example of how, like, in their deranged belief of how, like, you know. But apparently it was founded by a guy called Joel Simchai, who is the founder and former CEO of Grindr and Blender.
Oh,
wow.
Blender. What's Blender? Like the animating?
No, it's a dating app. I assume it's a geosocial dating app similar to its predecessor Grindr.
I don't know shit about dating apps, bro. I honestly, do you know how I met my girlfriend? I sent her 100 emoji in the DMs, and that's the only thing I've ever done. That's all I've ever done.
Really? Well, I mean, it's clear that the riz is there, mate.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that we're in for some biting political analysis from a guy who's talking about Grindr, Waze, and Blender being Jewish.
October 7th happens, and I'm texting with him. I'm like, do you still want me to come? Like, what should I do? And we decided the tour would go on. And so it wasn't a response to October 7th. It was really planned beforehand, but it became a response to October 7th. And it was, I mean, I came straight from like 1997 to 2023, and the shock that I felt. I mean, on so many, we're very distracted by these big encampments and protests, which are terrible, of course. But I'm much more worried about
what? Dude, she knows her audience, obviously.
But what is she? I'm not sure what she meant there. 1997 to 2023. Well, she was a speechwriter for Obama. Like, what was she? What was the context of that?
Let me go back.
I mean, I came straight from like 1997 to 2023, and the shock that I felt. I mean,
what does that mean? Was she?
We're very distracted by these big encampments and protests, which are terrible, of course. But I'm much more worried about the pervasive, systemic atmosphere on these campuses, like the air kids breathe.
Yeah.
In a lot of campuses, Israel is in the same moral bucket as the KKK and the Nazis.
Good base. Honestly, based. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right. So if I said to you, Jonah, look, I'm a Nazi, sure, but I'm a liberal Nazi. That's insane, right? Or
dude, she's saying it. She's saying it's insane.
She's realized she's noticing.
She's so close.
She's realizing what it is.
Yeah, she's so close, but so far.
Well, I'm in the KKK, but I don't hate minorities. Like, that's monstrous. Like, come on, we're not going to have a conversation about that. And that's what I think a lot of students on campus hear when a Jewish student says, "Well, look, I'm a Zionist. I'm a liberal Zionist. I care about Palestinian rights." It's like, Israel is now so evil, so untouchable that there's no point of contact you can have with it, just like there's no point of contact you can have with the KKK or Nazis. And once you're in that level of rationality, there's no conversation to be had.
I like him just sort of solemnly shaking his head. But like, what I will say is, you know what's interesting about listening to her? At times she comes across as very foolish, but then at other times she comes across as like saying something that's vaguely insightful, or at least insightful into the problems of the pro-Israel movement. And she's articulating like why I think it is so much importance to harp on liberal Zionists more than it is necessarily to harp on like really monstrous characters in the Zionist movement. Like, of course, it's interesting to talk about Kahana. Oh shit, that's a good podcast topic. Just thinking of it. Sorry to derail. Talk about Kahana and the right in Israel.
I'll add it.
Yeah.
I'll write it.
But like to focus on them is easy because like Kahana, like genuinely, you can compare Kahana's thought and literature to like Hitler's. Like it's really easy to do. But like taking a step back and realizing actually, fuck, liberal Zionism and like platitudes towards a two-state solution and stuff are really, really, really bad, and they are just as problematic as someone who is like openly avowing settlement and stuff, because the liberal Zionist is someone who still supports it because they support the existence of Israel, and the Israeli government show no willingness to move away from, from this kind of stuff. But now she kind of sees, oh God, people see Israel for what it is, and I don't like that,
Yeah, I don't think she's an unintelligent person, to be honest. I think she's just very careful, and she's she knows what she's doing. She's very dishonest would be the word, because she understands these topics, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's another, like you said, like that's why I've for the past year been very focused on the liberal Zionists, because they're good at evading the criticism that I think they deserve. They're still permissible on a mainstream level, whereas obviously like a Kahanist is not. I think it's just you have these this ideology that is permitted, it's allowed, it's often championed, it's cheered on by the mainstream establishments. I think she knows what she's doing.
And it's even just thinking of this from like in the most practical way that does not give me the solution that I want. Practically here, right? One of the things we have to be talking about is how we actually would change government policy, and like for these more liberal people who are less like as pro-Palestine and maybe bang on about the two-state solution, right? And one of the ways in which we get to that is by saying, actually, when it comes to the Zionist movement, we have to say that there is no two-state solution being pushed by any Israeli government or anyone who's going to be elected. It isn't going to happen. So what are we going to do? We're going to have to put major pressure on all of Israeli society to push them towards that, so people hold the Israeli government to account. Like, Israel's not like fucking Russia, where Russia will come out of 3 years of sanctions and be fine. It's not like Iran is not fine after sanctions, and obviously both these countries feel the effects. Israel couldn't survive without no fault guarantee loans. Who's it going to trade with? What, massively with China and Russia? Like, sure, both of them support Israel now, and we shouldn't valorize them as like glorious, amazing revolutionaries. But like, they're not going to be able to, you know, like influence these people. Like, sorry, they're not going to, these people are much more influenceable. And if Western society was just like, yeah, we're kind of done with Israel and like allowing them to go on in this way. Like, we have to talk about this liberal Zionism and the way in which this two-state solution is a dead end leading nowhere. And that actually, to move forward, we've got to say, these Israeli politicians are not taking a strong enough stand on settlements, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, of course. We've been over this last time I was on, but labor governments, labor leaders, the left in Israel is futile when it comes to opposing settlements. They've actually been actively encouraging them and teaming up with the right. They've done their fair share of settlement expansion themselves. I always split the two-state solution talk into like the moral category and then the practical category. The moral category being that it's not fair to ask Palestinians to accept an unjust partition of their land, no matter what. I'm not cool with settling an ethnic difference or an ethnic contention by creating an ethno-state. It's not something I'm cool with on a moral level. But on a practical level, I agree with you. There hasn't ever been an Israeli push for a genuine two-state solution. It's always ever been originally the possession of the land as a whole, as the Ben-Gurion quote goes. And then in, you know, the Rabin quote from October 5th, 1995, where he goes, we're going to give the Palestinians less than a state. So it's like, who are you going for this two-state solution? Who are we asking?
Yeah, 100%. And
it's always.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally I was just fiddling around with the stream. The thing is that like addressing that is of so much of importance, even for these people who want like, you know, even for these people who kind of just want like this solution of like a two-state. It has to be pressuring the liberal Zionists and saying, actually, look, it is clear that this problem is pervasive in Israel for decades, and that if you want to move forward, you have to really understand what Israel is. And that's the way you get your two-state solution, by pressuring Zionism, by pressuring this project that continually is unwilling to do anything, as you say, over any government. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You know, so many Jewish students told me they tried to meet with their classmates who were harassing them and like have a conversation, and they would be told, no, that would be normalizing Zionists. I just thought like the extremity of this. And it's so confusing for these poor colleges.
Whoa. Groundbreaking
told,
stuff.
No, that would be normalizing Zionists. I just thought like the extremity of this. And it's so confusing for these poor college kids because their anti-Semitism education has been Holocaust education.
Right.
So they get to campus, they're like, well, there are no Nazis here, but I feel really unsafe. And so I'm going to gaslight myself and say, well, maybe it's anti-Zionism, not anti-Semitism. And I have to walk them through like, okay, if a classmate of yours, you know, I was like, can I walk through your campus with a t-shirt that says, I love Israel? And they're like, oh God, no. I'm like, okay, what if a Black student came to you and said, my campus is great for Black students, but I can't wear my Black Lives Matter t-shirt. I'd get harassed.
Bro.
Yeah.
What's she trying to say? What's the point she's trying to make?
But also, I genuinely feel like on a multitude of colleges in America, if you wore a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, especially in the climate right now, you would get harassed. Like, it's really funny to sit there and say this. Like, what are you talking about? And drawing a comparison between Black Lives Matter and, like, even if you're of the opinion, like, oh, BLM did loads of riots and stuff, and oh my God, I hate that, which is obviously not true, but like, or like it was just violence. It would not compare to like Israel's level of violence. You know what I mean? Like trying to draw that comparison is insane.
Is BLM an apartheid state? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe she's saying something true.
And the student's like, oh, that's racism. That's terrible. Great. Gay student says, my campus great for queer students, but if I wear my Pride t-shirt, I will be harassed. Like, it's not great. That's homophobic.
Dude, Pride t-shirt is the same as the state of Israel.
Well, I mean,
that's something I learned today.
The Zionist project, it's kind of like a Pride t-shirt, Pride in genocide and taking people's land away,
Yeah.
But like, also, once again, those things would probably happen. And someone said, still a dumb comparison. Yeah, 100%. But those people would be harassed by people who genuinely hated them for their identity and for desiring a better life. In the case of Israel, people are against it. You might get some people who came up to you and like were fucking groypers, but most of them don't leave the house anyway, so probably not that big an issue. But like generally it would just be people who are like, hey, I don't like Israel, and it's a bit weird you're walking around with like I love Israel t-shirts on.
It's a political distinction. Like if I disliked someone's Israel shirt, I would be having a problem with their political ideology. If I disliked someone's gay pride shirt, I would be having a problem with their relatable characteristics. That's fundamentally the issue here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like, so how come if you wear your Israel t-shirt and you get harassed, you don't think that's anti-Semitism? And they're like, no, but the problem, it's not Jews, it's Israel. I'm like, okay, what if your Chinese American classmate wore a t-shirt that says I love China? Even if your classmates knew what a terrible...
Dude, I'm sorry, but like, I'm pretty sure in certain places in America, if someone wore an I love China shirt, they would absolutely get like bullied.
Mm-hmm. And also, wouldn't it be more like someone wearing like an I love the CCP t-shirt if it's the case of like, is Israel? Like, and in fact, like, people can quibble with you over like China, but like, if you believe like China has any reason to be quibbled with, you must believe that Israel deserves it much more, seeing as it's the one actively enacting like a highly mechanized genocide against Palestinians.
Absolutely, 100%. I don't know. She's like it feels like she low-key understands the contention, but she just obfuscates it because she keeps saying like she presents the anti-Zionist argument as though it's silly, like, oh, there's no way you could possibly have an issue with Israel but not have an issue with Jews. But I know she understands that is a possibility, and it's the most prevalent form of disagreement with Israel.
Who also do you think she's trying to talk to? This is quite interesting to me. Like, who like, what group of like young Jewish people would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go meet this lady to get my opinion on Israel? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't really know.
I'm not sure. I know she had hold on, she did something pertaining to the encampments at the colleges, right? Like I'm pretty sure she did. Like she had something to do with that. Like she
Sarah Hurwitz encampment.
Maybe I'm wrong about this.
I mean, I'm seeing Xavier de Rosso talking about conservatives and that's what it's pulled up for me. No, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
shit on this.
If I find it later, I'll send it to you.
An invitation to Judaism. Oh, wait. I think I have found it.
Okay. I was tripping myself out.
In her new book, As a Jew, Sarah Hurwitz takes up the paradoxes faced by many Jews today, at least with those of us who live outside of Israel. Where's there a mention of the encampment here? Because I think this had something... Okay, maybe it's not her, but it feels like this could be in her. It's from the Community Synagogue of Rye. But yeah, crazy.
Yeah, if I find it, I'll let you know. But I know she talks about them all the time.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, she said that they were shocking and hateful.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but the problem, it's not Jews, it's Israel. I'm like, okay, what if your Chinese American classmate wore a t-shirt that says, I love China? Even if your classmates knew what a terrible human rights violator China is, I'm guessing they would think, well, okay, I'm sure she doesn't love the Chinese government. She's probably just passionate about her heritage, or maybe she's studying Chinese history or language. I think your classmates would give her the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And that is not something that happens for Jewish students. And it's Dara Horn, who's one of my best friends and an amazing Jewish author. She talks about the difference between poor anti-Semitism, which is like, you're a Jew, you're bad, I'm going to kill you. There is nothing you can do to be good. You can't convert, you're bad, I'm killing you. Whereas there's another kind of anti-Semitism, which is like, you're a Jew, you're bad, there is something you can do to be okay. You can give up whatever it is that I, the majority, think is disgusting about Judaism. And so back in the day,
This
if you
is so
were
stupid,
a Jew,
bro. It's Zionism is like tops a couple hundred years old.
Yeah.
How is it intrinsic to Judaism in any way, shape, or form? It's not.
Well, as a political movement, the logic of it as well, it's also really funny because it's believed to be like, or it's kind of purported now to be like the only belief that Jewish people had. But like as well, you have to remember that like, I kind of like it when it's portrayed as like Herzl versus Marx. Like Marx's belief is basically Jewish people would assimilate by Western capitalist society changing and no longer being the way that it had been organized for the last few hundred years.
Yeah.
But ultimately assimilation would occur through that way. Whereas Herzl was like, nah, I kind of like Western society, but they're never going to accept me as a Jewish person here. So what I need to do to become a European Jewish person, to be treated as a Jewish person, he literally said, I'll forever be a German Jew, even if I go to Israel. But what he was basically saying is, if we go and do settler colonization there, we will become European Jews. And in many ways, that is exactly what the Zionist project is, because they love now to cite like, no, we got all these amazing Jews from like all over the world. But like the Zionist project never really liked them. It never really wanted them. And they were basically just people who were there to like sustain a project after they got huge amounts of land with not enough people in it. And also, by the way, I'm very sure of this, David Ben-Gurion actually compared the Mizrahi Jewish people to black slaves in America. He was like, they're not necessarily the people you want in your colony, but they're gonna help you bring it forward. And Mizrahi Jewish people were only really actually accepted in like the 1970s. They weren't even allowed to remember the Holocaust until the 70s. They were told that is not your problem. That is a European Jewish thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also the quote from Ben-Gurion where he worried that an influx of Mizrahi Jews, it would turn Israel into a Levantine state. That was his big concern, his contention. So, I mean, it's very interesting to fearmonger about a state situated in the Levant, potentially becoming Levantine. But
I think I'm also starting to reach the conclusion that David Ben-Gurion might have been a little bit racist. You know what I mean? I think
he might not have been. I don't think he was that chill of a dude, honestly.
No,
he seemed kind of bad.
I think maybe he's actually a pretty fucking horrible guy.
Yeah, but it's almost like the left-wing Israelis are also bad.
Yes, 100%. It's so like I know I mention this so much, but it is why like Jabotinsky just goes, yeah, this is all bullshit. This like left-wing Zionism is utter bullshit. Like the Palestinians exist, and the only way we're going to deal with them is with my iron wall and killing them. And it's
I mean, I said this to you last time. Like, I low-key respect his honesty because at least he doesn't fuck around. He's just honest. This is what we're going to do. They're colonized. Colonized people will resist, so we need to be brutal.
Yeah, 100%. It's just the admission of like kind of what's today someone like this won't admit. but what the pro-Palestine movement sees. Someone like this is like, nah, we kind of need to pretend that there's like this liberal Zionist thing. Whereas he was just like, we are taking other people's land. And he doesn't, by the way, he's not sorrowful about it. You can even find early Zionists who express a little bit of sorrow about doing it. He's just like, nah, it's awesome to take people's land because we're superior to them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. Like there's, like to a degree, like a guy like Burl Katz Nelson. That's the one who was, you know, perceived as being more of like humanistic, liberal, Zionist figure. To a degree, I respect Jabotinsky more because at least he's honest. At least he's not pussyfooting around, like not telling you, oh, we need to do some sort of voluntary transfer when the transfer was conceived to not be voluntary pretty much from the jump. Like it was an euphemism for expulsion.
Yeah, 100%. Like political euphemisms are just this standard practice thing of movements like this. And I'm sorry, I won't trade in them. Like, you can see it now today with, like, you can see it more grotesquely on, like, the very clear people like, when they talk about voluntary emigration. We all know it's not voluntary. In fact, Ben Gvir slipped up a few days ago and said, oh, he just put emigration first and then had to put voluntary in because he was clearly told, do not openly state emigration, that we're encouraging it. But I think as well, you can kind of see it as well in, you know, that term security. Because it's a euphemism.
Yeah. Oh,
Israeli security
sure.
is a euphemism of killing huge amounts of Palestinians and enforcing literally Jabotinsky's doctrine of the Iron Wall. Run from it, cry about it all you want. That euphemism of security may make you feel better about what you're saying, but you're still doing horrible things to get it.
100%. There's a book by Noor Masala. It's called The Expulsion of Palestinians: The Concept of Transfer. I can't remember the full subtitle.
I know. I've heard of the name.
I think you would really like it, or whoever's watching, I think they would really like it.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be a great recommendation for people.
Okay, hold on. This thing's okay.
No problem.
I'm pretty stoked about how well this program is working.
Yeah. Someone asked, is this like an advertisement for the podcast? And I was like, well, I didn't really think of it. It was that. It was more like we were going to call in and then like once we're done with like this video and like our discussion of it, I guess we just like talk about like a bit of podcast stuff and then like I'll finish streaming and stuff. But it kind of is just basically like a small podcast. So I'll stick it up on my channel and it's probably worth like saying or like mentioning, hey, we're going to do a podcast because people will be like, oh, I want to watch this. And then they'll see, oh, shit, there's a podcast starting. But we'll talk about that after we're done. Should we finish this video and then do that? Because I won't stream too much longer, like maybe 30 minutes or so.
Sure, for sure.
To Christianity, they wouldn't kill you. For some time, at least.
Yes,
for a while, I think, is disgusting about Judaism. And so back in the day, you know, if you were a Jew converted to Christianity, they wouldn't kill you. For some time, at least.
Yes, I have.
For a while, maybe. If you got lucky. You know, you could convert. And today, I think I think about my parents' generation, the 50s, if you were a Jew and, you know, just get rid of your last name, your nose, your Jewy gestures, right? Be less Jewy and then you're safe. Today, it's, you know, get rid of your Zionism and then you're safe. And so you see these.
Dude, what is the comparison being made? She goes, get rid of your Jewy gestures and your nose. And then she's saying, get rid of Zionism.
Yeah, 100%. I really, really interesting to move on from like Jewy gestures to Zionism.
Yeah.
Especially when like even in the logic of what she's talking about there, right? Like loads of people really like Jewish comedy and like Curb Your Enthusiasm is like
I love that show.
Yeah, it's like a show that has like a lot of references to Jewish culture, Jewish traditions, like Jewish Jewish things that are like kind of seen as funny and are not kind of getting rid of them. And I don't doubt that what she's saying, that there's truth and merit, that like people are like, yeah, you got to get rid of that shit. You know, we don't want like person with Goldstein or whatever working in in anything that we're to do with. But like, it's a big leap to go from like kind of immutable characteristics. I mean, Zach Polanski in the UK, like our current like the Green Party leader, right? His name was not Polanski. He changed it back because his family's Jewish and they just changed their names because they were like, yeah, we don't want to deal with the anti-Semitism shit. And he changed his name back because he's like, I'm Jewish, I want to keep that name. But like, like when you're just sort of keep drawing this like the similarity between that, it's unbelievable. It is truly unbelievable.
Yeah, she may not like be. She may be sneaky about how she's doing this, but at the end of the day, she is still using Judaism to shield her Zionism. She's doing that sleight of hand, that conflation. so that she can flippantly go back and forth between the two and be convenient whenever it's convenient. Oh, like Zionism is an integral part of Judaism, so therefore we can't get rid of our Zionism. So it's just she's purposefully doing the conflation, and I do think she's actually a pretty skilled orator, to be honest. I think she knows what she's doing, which makes it a bit worse.
And then you're safe. Today, it's, get rid of your Zionism and then you're safe. And so you see these poor kids who are like, they're like, my rabbi growing up told me Israel was great. And then I got to campus and I learned they were genocidal, colonial Nazis. I saw the light. I had an epiphany. And then I took anti-Zionism and anti-colonialism into my heart, and now I'm saved. And their classmates are like, now you're saved. You're a Jew who's seen the light. And it's like,
yeah.
I think also it's not just about people aren't specifically happy when Jewish people do it. Like, people are just happy. Like, people who are pro-Palestine are happy when fucking anyone does it, and they
no, exactly,
care about Palestinian suffering and take it into their heart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think she's completely overlooking the fact that if a Christian student also wore a pro-Israel T-shirt on a campus, they would also get ridiculed. They would also get scolded. So again, she's just obfuscating on purpose.
And I think as well, it doesn't take into account the fact that campuses are diverse spaces which quite possibly have Palestinians either from Gaza or from the West Bank and if you're wearing a pro-Israel T-shirt or wearing an Israeli flag or something, that's going to have a very specific meaning for Palestinians, which is the flag that's
carved
into Palestinian land.
Carved
into them
skulls.
Yeah. I don't think that you can escape that fact of hey, this Star of David has really been taken on as the flag that's emblazoned on the Israeli tank, that's Israeli soldiers raise in Gaza and spray paint on people's houses. People are always going to find that to be a symbol that has taken on a very different meaning today than once was.
Well, symbols change in meaning and usage, and unfortunately, we're seeing now a symbol originally of faith being used in such a way where it voids those connotations. So, I'm not looking forward to what happens with that type of iconography in the future.
Mm-hmm. 100%, and the Israeli flag most definitely is just a hate symbol.
Absolutely. If I saw someone with an Israeli flag, I would think, okay, this is an ethno-supremacist. There's not really any way around that at this point.
Yeah, I don't care, looking for whether someone's got, a Star of David. Who's really doing that? No. But, if I see someone waving an Israeli flag around, I'm like, why would I want to go anywhere near this person? Because this person's going to be crazy and pro-Israel. Oh, someone's complaining I'm a little bit quiet compared to you, which is interesting. Something about this software is causing me to go quiet. Hold on. One second. It does it with Discord too. I think it's something to do with streaming. I'm going to sort this. 1 second, guys. Input level, raise it. How loud am I?
I'll also send you all of these files so you can upload on YouTube or whatever.
Could you
individual
put
files.
them on a Google Drive to send them to me?
Of course.
Please? Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much. I guess now we should talk about maybe a bit of podcast housekeeping with everyone here and just finish off the stream like that.
Let's do it. Sounds good, man. All right. Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of hard to know what to talk about because we've kind of posted. I mean, someone was asking the No Name podcast. No, the podcast is named now. It's called No Politic Here, right?
Yeah.
No Politic Here is the name of the podcast. There's a channel up, which I'll link after this. In fact, hold on 1 second. If I search No Politic Here, I'll probably just find it, right?
Yeah, it's also linked to my my main YouTube channel if you scroll down.
Yeah, perfect. I'll get it through that. Overzealots. I'll link it to mine as well. Second channel. No, that's not your second channel. I can't see it.
Here, I'll send it. If you go to Overzealots and then it's not tagged to my other channels. on my main channel page, like homepage.
No, I just see Underzealots.
Oh, that's really weird. Okay, here, I'll send it in the Discord.
Okay, okay.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, which did you? Who came up with the name No Politic Here?
It was it was one of the members of your chat, Anna Ben.
Anna Banan.
Should be in my email.
Yeah,
Anna
cool,
Banan.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Your volume is very low. People keep complaining about my volume. Was it this bad the whole time we were calling, or is it just now is the issue for some reason? Fuck.
That's so interesting because you're very loud for me.
Yeah, I think that maybe you should turn me down a bit, and
all right, no worries.
I should keep it like that. Why won't it let me set this to a specific volume? How does it sound now, guys? Sorry if I'm insanely loud to you. It has gone down now. I don't know why it's causing that, and it was working fine earlier. Is it really quiet now? Should be louder. I can I can make it even louder if needs be. Sorry, mate.
No, you're good, man. This stuff is like a foreign language to me, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's causing it to become quiet. It seems to be. It might be insanely now loud. Better. Okay, better, they're saying. Is this really loud for you?
No, all good. I just turned my speakers down.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, it should be louder. I think it's something to do with it messes with the like audio control. But yeah, right. So you've just sent me a link to No Politic Here. Okay, guys. Yeah. So here is the channel, No Politic Here. We are there you go. I'll just send a link in chat. I just showed it. We're going to be doing one podcast a week to start off at least.
Yeah, one podcast a week. We're going to do current events, I guess, for the beginning. And then if we have a deep dive into like a historical event, we'll go into that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I think it'll give us a great opportunity to have like a long form discussion and actually cover a bunch of current events and all the things we may not actually get the chance to talk about just with our own forms of content.
So I think it'll be kind of like what it'll be is how we've kind of said it is like we'll do like a current event, then probably linked to a historical deep dive, or something that's maybe like, you know, over the last year we'll talk about like, I don't know, I guess like genocide in Gaza in the context of like a deep dive, or like how the genocide's still ongoing in Gaza, and then, you know, how this is how genocide is and such.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that...
Yeah, I think that...
Yeah, sorry, please go on.
I was going to say, going over like the current Trump plan and then comparing it to previous ones, specifically the aspect of carving up Gaza into specific zones and how that relates to what we saw in the West Bank in the mid-90s, I think would be a really good way to go about it.
And then I think it'll be... we haven't really decided an upload date, have we?
No, but I think we'll probably film on Fridays, right? And then I can like edit Saturday, and then we can have it up Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, Sunday or Monday would probably be the perfect day. I feel like looking at podcasts that I like, most of them actually upload on Sundays and Mondays, unless they're doing like multiple episodes per week, and then it's kind of different because, you know, there's so much content to watch.
And then that gives us the ability to kind of wrap up the previous week.
Yeah.
So I think that would be good.
Yeah, 100%, and like cover a topic that, you know, we might not do on stream, or there's just not as much opportunity to do. And I think that that's kind of like how it will go, really, you know. And it'll all be on the No Politic Here channel, and
probably put it on the channel at least for now. And then if we start doing like a bunch more episodes, we'll go from there and figure out what to do. Maybe even in the future we could live stream them, because I guess StreamYards allows you to do that. But we'll figure it out from there. We'll also have guests, which would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be fun to occasionally do like a live streamed episode, you know, as like a special thing, I guess. And yeah, we will occasionally have guests, which will sometimes be academics, sometimes be other content creators. Will not just be focused on Palestine, although we might start with quite Palestine focused stuff and maintain like an interest in Palestine, because it's what both of us have made many videos about. we'll also be like talking about current events, you know, like current events in other places in the world and things going on, and you know, trying to look at the history of them. And yeah, it'll be a broad base of different people from, you know, different social media platforms who may not all be on YouTube. And
Yeah, I mean, I even have like plans to maybe talk about some stuff pertaining to Cuba or Chile. I think that would be interesting too if we could have episodes about that in the future.
100%, 100%. And we've kind of like, we've just like sort of got some very broad ideas. So if like, if any of you are interested in telling us, like, I guess if anyone has any topics where they're like, oh, it'd be awesome if you'd cover this. I know Sedan has come up on my stream already for me to cover, but I think that that's probably something we do on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it's like, yeah, I think it's like we've got loads of different opportunities to do and such. So yeah,
Sure. I definitely want to talk about Congo as well, because I have a few videos about it, but I think having a long form discussion about it could be really educational and helpful.
Yeah, and I think like one of the things that I always thought my platform would be about was talking about news and placing it in historical context. And so I think that this is like the best opportunity to do that. And if we were to do something about Congo, you know, we could do like a multi-series thing, like one about the history, one about like, or like longer history, colonial history, and you know.
Yeah, like the Belgian Free State under Leopold, and then go into more like the clone. Yeah, that'd be great.
And I think as we kind of do this, we'll feel out more and more what we can and will, like what will work and what won't work, and how, you know, we do it. But I think, I know I'm very excited, and I think that this is like a great way to move forward with both of our.
Yeah,
things.
I also think it'll be really fun too, because like we have a good banter, and it's not always going to be like super serious. There's going to be jokes. It's going to be
definitely
lighthearted at the appropriate times, obviously. So I think it'll be great. I've been really excited for the past like week and a half, ever since we decided to go through with it. I'm gonna actually post the No Politic Here YouTube channel when I'm done this call,
me
and
too.
just get people to start subscribing to it.
Yeah. Someone also said maybe promoting or reviewing like pro-Palestine related films. That is actually a really good idea for like, especially because we discussed like maybe in the future, like, you know, like what we'll do like vis-a-vis like a Patreon maybe in the future. And one of the things we were thinking is like maybe doing more episodes, or like a little 30-minute thing that's maybe less serious, that's like going out, you know, and like most of the, and like if not like all of the academic learning stuff is freely available. And then we do like, you know, I mentioned Isaac loves Pinocchio, as he mentioned last time. So at some point we'll cover Pinocchio, you know.
Hell yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to after call, do you want to like hop on and go over like the document and come up with some concepts for Friday? Or do you wanna...
I would like to. So I think, to be honest, do you have anything else you'd like to add vis-a-vis the podcast?
Nope, not really. Just go over to No Politic Here podcast. Well, youtube.com/@NoPoliticHerePodcast. Go subscribe. And hopefully we'll film this week, have the first episode out next week.
Yeah. So we'll just stay on the call. But I'll probably end the stream here. So thank you guys all for coming. Isaac, obviously, thank you for coming on. And
of course, man. Thanks for having me.
I think, as everyone knows, you know, your socials are Overzealots, and as I say, the podcast will be starting soon. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you for everyone who's going to go out and support. Thanks for the help with the name. And I hope that you have a lovely evening. Now you're going to watch me do my favorite part of the stream, Isaac, which is wait to see at what point the delay ends. Knows, you know,
hell yeah. Oh, dude, I love that part. I always watch it.
As I say, the podcast will be starting soon. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you for everyone who's going to go out and support. Thanks for the help with the name. And I hope that you have a lovely evening. Now you're going to watch me do my favorite part of the stream, Isaac, which is wait to see at what point the delay ends.